The chips were down last DPC circuit, but they found an answer and shocked the world by introducing Fly and S4, claiming an unexpected third place at TI8. Although unchanged from last season, they headed to Hamburg a man down, but match-winning Maverick Sumail returns for the major, and it's time to get down to business. Their season starts here. Introducing the NA Regionals champions, Evil Geniuses. The VGJ Storm roster that reached top 8 at TI this summer found themselves a new home and a new offlaner. TI winning Universe stepped up to the plate this season, and with a King's Cup Regionals title already under their belt, this team is already making waves. With their dynamic support duo and the prolific Resolution, there's potential to go far. Runners up in the NA Regionals, please give it up for Forward Gaming.
The matchup a lot of fans have been waiting for all day, and the matchup for North America that truly matters. Evil Geniuses versus Forward Gaming. One of these two teams will make it to tomorrow. Another lower bracket match awaits them there, but it's going to be a tough one. It's a best of 3. Evil Geniuses dropping from the upper bracket, Forward coming from the lower bracket. It should be an exciting one, and here to join me for it, it is BSJ, Piladai, and Gods. Gentlemen, this matchup surely will be a great one. I'm going to start with the NA right there, Brian.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this all day. This series is there's a lot on the line, you know, not just money, not just points. There's pride, you know, and we always in our NA we're all about our pride because we don't got much going for us.
They're very connected, right? I think SVG used to be the coach for EG. Then
Correct.
we have like Resolution used to be on OG with S4. We got kicked by him. Universe kicked from EG before. And then
The list goes on.
There's a big web there.
Pride between two brothers. We have Yoar, Sumail playing against each other.
Exactly.
The #1, #2 NA team, I think, kind of undisputed at this point. Perhaps what's disputed is who is #1 in NA, since they haven't really played each other since TI, outside of what I guess the qualifiers coming here.
And
But that was
Yoar has
purely for
improved
seeding.
drastically since then as well, I feel. Like he's really stepped it up.
Yeah, this past year, like even like before last TI, he got way better.
Yeah, we have also chosen Yoar and Sumail for a featured matchup. Might as well bring him up right now since we're talking about them. Two brothers. It's not the first time the two brothers are very playing at high level. I mean that happens quite a bit, it seems. But they're both good in their own right. They're both very different as well, though, I feel.
Yes, I mean, Sumail is more of a lane dominating, like core player. Like he likes to be the center of the game. Yoar is more he's not the best laner. At least he didn't used to be. Like he's gotten better at that. That was one of his big problems. But he plays more of the, what do you call it? Like off lane from mid. Not really, but.
Plays like the stable heroes kind
Look
of,
at
I would say.
this team list, by the way. This only Evil Geniuses for Sumail. And Yoar is like from E-Hog to Forward, and there's like 10 names in between.
Yeah, he's been trying for quite a bit.
I think Yoar's come a long way in the last year or so. At the summit in July, I had like this fun session with me, Rezo, and Yoar where we were like going over Yoar's Ursa replay, and they like jokingly but semi-seriously like had me come on. And I feel like Yoar is like a typical NA player where he would like his weakness, if anything, is that he is a little too greedy with his farming. Like he'll find himself sacrificing like map control and stuff in order to get farm. And I feel like that's something like a year ago that was really holding him back. And like you could tell Rezo's been really helping him with that, and you can notice it in his play. I felt it like in that little session I had with them, like Rezo, the way he was like talking to him and stuff. And I feel like having that figure for him has been really important.
Sumail, his weaknesses are not so much his greed, it's his cockiness.
Yes.
Pick me Queen of Pain.
Yeah, so yesterday's best of 3 favorites against NIP, and game 2, there's a Queen of Pain that comes out. You can imagine Sumail had a voice in that pick. Game 3, he's winning a Miranda versus TA matchup, and he double leaps into the tower, doesn't get the kill, and throws away his advantage. Like it wasn't the only reason they lost, but he was probably the biggest reason they lost that series.
The biggest actually visible, like that was
Yeah.
bad
I mean,
type of thing.
no, because you can also assume that like the play wasn't the best, but you also assume that he like had a big voice in the matchups, like the heroes they picked, and like
Yeah.
that would be his weakness, like his matchups.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. I don't think that's gonna happen again, though. I think Bulba got a tight hole in those reins right now. I'm not sure he's gonna have any suggestions for him because he's gonna be the one drafting. We are in the draft. Before we truly get into that portion, I would really like to hear from you guys who has the upper hand, because yesterday's performance from EG definitely wasn't their best showing. Forward Gaming, though, I mean, they came in strong by winning versus Pain, and since then they kind of have not impressed as much as people were expecting them to. So who truly has the upper hand? Who is the underdog going into this? Is it still Forward Gaming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, well,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
solved.
To me,
then.
for sure.
I agree.
I really like Forward Gaming. I think I've seen the good, and I haven't been there for the bad, because that Alliance best of 3 at the end of the group stage was like I was done. I think I was asleep because I was jet lagged by that point. So
Okay.
I didn't see them struggle against Alliance. Whereas against VP in that best of 3, they played 3 very close competitive games and looked great. They looked like definitely a top 8 team here. I think both of these are top 8 teams at this tournament. It's just unfortunate they're versing each other, because I would say without a doubt that both teams probably deserve to be in that top 8, but it's not going to happen.
It is not going to happen. One of them will go home, and the other one will face Fnatic tomorrow in a best of 3. And it's guaranteed top 8, by the way. If you win here, you get to be top 8, which is already a good thing, and a lot of pride on the line, I should say, Ryan.
And it's the last NA team left after the series is over.
You are correct.
That's a big deal as well. This is
You
our
don't even need to win the tournament
Yeah.
anymore. You're best
Well,
in NA.
It's also, but it's our representation as a region, so this is
Yeah.
important for us. You know, what team is carrying the torch going forward. I feel like Forward, they've looked inconsistent, but their highs have been like impressive.
At
so
the same
if
time,
they can bring that.
Yeah, they haven't played that many games, right? And like they were extremely tired. What I understood, like in the Alliance series.
Forward Forward has played. Well, they've played more than EG at the moment, because they did went through. Well, they won the first series, so they had to play 3 series in their group stages, and then just the best of 1 for main event, though. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is the best one, I think, because that one to me is kind of a clear win for them. Like I don't think that was that hard for them. Like they were down a bit, but it was strange picks, you know, and it's easy to choke under those circumstances. You got that mid Dazzleist destroying your TA. Like you probably never seen that.
You saw him
Like,
like trying to
what's
man up
happening?
when he could have just walked away and say he just died to poison touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Oh wow, 73% win rate. First pick Centaur.
This is a hero that's kind
Ooh.
of rising. We've seen
Yeah.
a lot of LGD Centaur picks, because it's that now 4 position here. All these
Mhm.
threes
Yeah.
moving to the 4 role.
I like this though, because I don't like it's just a strong hero, right? And I don't think Forward Gaming, like you don't expect this. Yeah, first pick Centaur. Like definitely not.
A lot of people I've been talking to, like honestly, the last few weeks have been thinking Centaur will be a really strong hero, and I feel like that was when people didn't realize you could just pick it and possibly put it as a 4.
Yeah.
So having that extra versatility just ups the stock of the hero so much. Like just the raw health as well as the ult for his entire team just makes it changes the entire game. It's kind of like an IO in regards to like just the entire game changes having a Centaur on your team,
Yeah.
and that's just so strong right now.
5 seconds remaining.
That's why they get this Earthshaker. Stunner. Get some stuns.
It's good against all the carries right now too. The PLs, the Terror Blades. It's okay against Morph. It's not the best, but
If your brothers that are both mid, surely you're playing mid against each other an awful lot, right? You can only imagine that. Just a practice? Or is that a...
I'm not
Like-
sure. Maybe
I
they
don't
did like a few years ago.
Yeah, maybe not anymore.
I don't know. Maybe Samelia's, you know, he's like, you're too bad, man. And
I don't know
back
how
then,
much
you know,
they
he's,
1v1.
he's on EG winning TI. His brother's on Team E-Hug. Like, maybe so, like, I don't feel like it.
Because I'm thinking, why would you put just Jawar versus Mill and have them have a 1v1 mid, or just rather have some supports help Jawar out because mechanically Samil is the better player?
It's gonna come down to the matchup. Like you
Okay.
can't think about that too much.
Okay,
like,
that is
already
for
in the
later.
draft. You can't just
Okay.
commit to like we're gonna have
Forward
two or something.
even send Rezo mid some games,
Yeah.
depending on the heroes. Like if there's like an Arc Warden mid or something, and then Yuar is playing like a safe lane Mirana.
Oh, I like that
Okay.
pick a
Yeah,
lot,
that's
actually.
a really good pick.
Neither team going for the big carries in the
No.
early stage, which is a bit of a mix-up from what we've normally been seeing.
I thought they might go terribly, but Silencer owns Dazzle and Earthshaker, so
It
that's a
does.
very good pick.
It's a step away from what wasn't working for EG in the last switch, which was like putting Fly on like the tiny.
Yeah,
I think as much as those heroes can be played as a 5 by some teams, Secret specifically, I don't think you can just copy paste
No,
that.
you have to be very careful.
They
with
also
that.
did that with the S4 Earthshaker. Like, they just kind of copy pasted what Boxy was doing, and I feel like sticking to your own stuff can usually be better, and having have Fly play like these traditional position 5s.
Yeah, you say like Tiny's not banned, and none of them have. They haven't picked it yet. Like I think teams are gonna be more careful with that here.
Yeah, the 3 top bands still in the.
Yeah, you're
the
not. So you're
pool.
not a big fan of these early tiny picks anymore.
Especially first pick, no.
Okay.
Because teams think like I don't think it's a good 4 hero like at all. I think like it can work sometimes. Like if you know the lane, like you get a good core matchup.
Mhm.
But otherwise, I don't think he's a good support.
I like its second pick better because it's not going to lose its lane, and then you also have the absolute last pick, so you have all the versatility of what lane Tiny can go to,
10
so you can
seconds
potentially pick a
remaining.
carry, a mid,
Yep.
anything like that.
Yeah, I still think it's a good. Like if you see a couple of heroes that you one shot, like I'm still down to pick him. But you need to pick team fight with him, else you might end up in these games where you just don't do anything.
Well, we're having some cores already banned out. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Terrible Eight join them.
There's no way that's making it through with Dazzle in the pool.
Unless you feel like Silencer is going to stop the grave.
Yeah,
then
it's
gone.
no.
It's gone.
I feel like that's
So-
like, on paper, that's nice, but then in game, it's like you still have.
It's the only time you can use Silencer.
It's just so annoying to
No.
play with, too. Like, just the idea that one Grave Sunder can just lose you the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think forward have to think about this Venomaster that might come up from EG. Like playing Shaker versus. I guess now though, if you go
10
the
seconds
Axe build,
remaining.
maybe
Mhm.
it's whatever. Yeah, I don't know what heroes they're really thinking about now.
Hmm.
You definitely need some cores though.
Mirana is probably the one commonly picked core that both teams play, particularly forward gaming.
Yeah.
That's on both teams' minds.
That's true. That's true.
Silencer's
one of
also
those-
good against that, though.
Yeah, that's
good.
a good point.
We have a lot of Monkey King played by Resolution as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think you need to see a bit more before you kind of commit to that. You don't know any of EG's cores right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the thing with the center now, right?
I have to believe this would be a Tiny. Like, I don't actually see anything else that for like usually this third pick when you have second pick is just some bland laner. Like either unless if you need a support, it's always like a Bane. If you need a core, it's like a Tiny or a Necro.
Mm.
Like just a hero that just kind of doesn't lose its lane or sets you up to not lose a lane.
Hmm. Weaver is Necro in the pool? No, it's
Necros,
banned.
yeah, bad.
Yeah, I just don't see anything else. Like, what's a better pick?
Try for some
10 seconds
AoE
remaining.
spells somehow. I'm not sure.
Could see some more Arc
5
Warden come out. I
seconds
think that was being
remaining.
first toed in the last series.
Mhm.
Something both Arteezy and Resolution play.
It's like it's just not good enough to pick there. Like it's too spooky. You're just
No, maybe not third pick here.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
okay.
a classic. That's a
Okay,
classic
I like
thing to
that.
do.
That's something else
Yeah.
we've seen. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That sets you up for like a better carry hero fourth pick.
The only annoying part is like I think Silencer is so good versus that hero. Like he's so good versus all these heroes, and it always feels bad to pick something that's already countered.
I want to see like a Greaves Magnus, not like a Blink Magnus.
Yeah.
Just pick a team
10
fighter that
seconds
gives them
remaining.
power, and if anything, if they overextend, it's an RP
Yeah.
rather than relying on the RP.
5 seconds remaining.
Because EG will be able to start fighting so soon. Like the second 8-6 on Centaur, like and they have global on the Silencer, like the Chaos Go. And I don't think like the forward heroes when they're silenced, right? Like they can't do anything.
I want to see a carry that can fight. Like I don't want to see a troll. I want to see a carry that
Mhm.
has participation in mid game stuff. If with like exactly what you're saying.
Like which one?
I
I
want to
think
see. I want to see PA, man.
PA.
I don't know if it's good, but I want to see it.
PA. It's so hard to imagine the heroes like without the list on, but even just something like a Wraith King, something mid game-ish.
Mhm.
I'm thinking
Dire
of.
team pick.
Well, Pogna comes out.
Okay, not anymore.
We had Sumail play that earlier this week against Vici Gaming.
Gives away to pressure towers, and you kind of know that some kind of physical damage, right-clicking core is coming with the Empower, so Decrep is naturally going to have some value.
They could just go Morana here. Like I feel like that's what they'll actually do. Oh, they do go. Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah,
Troll Magnus is a classic though.
that is a classic.
And Siriuspon's our Gordon.
There you go.
It
No
seemed like a hero that
hesitation.
was going to get picked up by one of these teams, like
Yeah.
as a fourth pick.
What do you have now? You can do like a Storm and Ember.
They have, by the way, the exact same lineup as they had versus VG Gaming in game 2 of their groups, which they won. The only one that's missing is Weaver, which is banned out, so they do need to switch it up that way. But
Who played the Pugna in that game? Was it
Pugna
S4?
was Sumail, and Crit was actually playing the Weaver.
Huh.
5 seconds
He was playing a
remaining.
Yeah, we
saving
saw
support.
Sumail play another game of Pugna, which I think they lost later on, maybe?
Not this tournament.
Okay. I think something else.
Mm.
I'm scared for Forward Gaming's mid game.
Yep.
Our Gordon, like if you see him, if you leave him unchecked like you saw last game, that hero is so scary. He just accelerates so quickly, and then they have this Pugna that, up until Earthshaker or Magnus Blink, how do you actually reach the Pugna? Like he's so fast, so
Yeah.
he's just gonna walk away from you.
I think you can even just Venomancer here on.
Yeah, they already
EG.
banned
Banned,
it,
yeah.
and
Or
I
ban
think
it,
they're gonna
yeah.
ban Tiny on EG. Like
Yeah.
those are the heroes I was envisioning.
I don't
being
know
good.
though. Like if you Tiny here
10
with forward, like you're on such a timer. That's
Think
why. That's why I think they need a Storm or an Ember.
Oh, you just want to go like super late game with whatever hero this is.
I mean, super late. No, the thing is, you have to like win kind of early forward if you don't have one of those heroes. I think. I don't know. Like your troll is not gonna carry this game. There is no way.
And we've seen what happens when you go late game against an Arc Warden. It's just not fun.
Not for a troll. Like I just that hero just doesn't carry games.
No.
Like you
But
can end them
the,
quick.
the
but-
Storm actually gives you a solution in some ways
I mean, that's
if he gets farmed.
yeah, that's the thing though. Like maybe it's worth it more to just go Tiny and kind of run
His
them
late
over.
game's actually way scarier on Tiny with a troll on his team. Like your
Yeah.
ability to solo kill people extends much farther into the game because of that bonus attack speed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Like the Pugna is gonna be food all game.
Like if they were if the Tiny were to go like a legit carry build, you know, like after the Echo Saber, you go like AC or Butterfly or something like that, like some attack speed, you know, hit people item.
Mm-hmm. It's actually that's pretty cool when you have 5 trees and you go for the back, like you blink into their base and hit their tower with
Oh,
troll
yeah.
ulti.
Yeah.
It's kind of dice.
Ooh,
It's
I mean, I
really
guess I
better.
understand the Brood ban, like kind of have to, but I do think Tiny's their best pick for forward gaming.
What do I have here? I guess it's if the centaur is off like core or support.
They still have not revealed that.
No.
None of the. I mean, I guess Pugna's a Sumail hero.
Yeah.
Do we think he'll be playing it? Is the question.
I mean, yeah, they'll probably just decide if the Pugna or the Arc Warden goes mid, depending on
5 seconds remaining.
forward's pick here.
Dire team pick.
Underlord again? Maybe? No, they
Oh,
go
Under.
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 I don't know.
Oh, they could go Huskar too. They have Dazzle.
The Huskar Dazzle cheese coming
Against
out.
Ember?
Then you better finish that game. Like
Yeah.
the Arc Warden gets no
That's-
farm.
It can work though.
I don't know. I feel
They
like
can work.
Huskar goes unchecked this game.
How much of a timer would they be on?
Like 2 Roches. Like first
Yeah.
Roche around like 12 minutes, second Roche, and if the game's like not 2x down, you
Seems like a
lose.
gamble though.
5
Yeah, but it might be
seconds
worth. Like
remaining.
that lane
Yeah.
is not fun for Ember. The thing is, they'll just put Arc Warden mid, right? I don't know how well he
Yeah.
does though.
We've seen Magnus Huskar. The idea is like you actually have to focus the Huskar,
Yeah.
and you can't afford to commit. So the Magnus RP is more of a threat rather than an initiation. They have a lot of counter initiation on forward. They have like decent wave clear on their other heroes. I don't know. Like those are like
Mhm.
the weaknesses that Huskar has.
It could work.
They could try for another carry, just pick a void, you know, do something like that.
I
the
just
troll
want
in.
something to set the pace of the game. is
Morana
how
still
I
really
agree
cool as
with you.
well.
I agree with you. It's better. And they should definitely a lane winner would be nice though. Let's see.
The ultimate lane winner. It will be the monkey.
Oh,
Kings.
yeah, okay.
That's
Monkey
a
King
good
against
pick.
Pugna's kind of meh,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a lane winner.
Yep.
It sets the pace of the game, so I like where they're going with that.
He has a stun. It's pretty good. It's
He'll,
pretty good.
I really hope he goes like Echo Saber Manta. I think will be the build for the Monkey King.
He should. I think he should get a Shadow Blade like early-ish.
Okay.
Find these guys.
I'm fine with that. He's kind of their do shit hero
Yeah.
this game.
So who is going to take the first game?
I don't know this this matchup, Ember versus Monkey. Like, how bad is it?
Yeah,
for
I
the
mean,
Ember.
it should be definitely good for Monkey, but
Like,
But
is he
how
just going to
good?
crush
How much?
it too?
Mid game, it's not so good. So like I feel like Ember will get like level 4 and just jungle.
Is there any chance EG do just send the Arc Warden mid now and put Sumail safe lane, or is that just not their style?
I don't think that's their style personally.
Yeah.
I don't think I like really want to play Ember side lanes this game anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. And the offlane, it's Pugna, Troll.
It's going to be a tough game regardless. I still need to hear.
I'm gonna go for
honestly.
EG.
I mean, I'm going for forward then. I think
me
they
too.
can do this.
I'm taking forward.
I'm gonna bet a bit on
Okay.
this matchup too. Like he's gonna have a good game.
Yeah. Seems like you guys all agree that at least will be an even a game.
Yeah.
Would love to see that, and I'm sure a commentator team would love to see that as well. It is over to Sayori and Trent.
All right, thank you, Sheever. Game 1 of our final series of the day is set to get started. Trent, I couldn't be more excited. We've got some fun picks to boot. Arc Warden, the talk of the town tonight.
Hassan Bowl, baby. That's what I'm
Mhm.
here for. That's what
Hell
everyone's
yeah.
opting for. So I think it's like number 7 or so, and I guess we count each game. I don't know. Does it go individually? I suppose it would.
Yes,
so
it
we're gonna
absolutely
go
do.
for that.
All
We'll see
right.
who'll be the victor of it here today. But yeah, more Arc Warden. Just finished one up, handling for the old Fnatic series for Abed, and we already had the Arteezy one. We had to cast that match where he ended up in a solo 1v1 versus a Necrophos. That was an easy game for him.
Yes, that was the complete domination. We
Yes.
found the hard counter to the Necro in that game, I think.
Yeah, at least if you can manage to get in a 1v1. But in this case, it will be looking like another 1v1 situation, but not on a side lane, in the mid lane instead.
Okay. So Dazzle, we played again. This time it'll be in the hands of SVG, so no core Dazzle for us this go-around, Trent. He's going to be in that good old-fashioned support role.
Yep.
But maybe not the easiest game. The Fly Silencer will be prepared. Great opener, I think, for EG against the Dazzle Earthshaker. Silence is a great way to break up those two.
This will do
All
just
these
fine.
silencer picks. I know I was a bit of a silencer hater coming into this tournament, but I feel like a lot of teams have been executing very well here at the major with the hero, just kind of always making sure they're not taking fights unless they have global. It sounds so simple, and yet it's been the bane of many a silencer picker as of late, but it's turned around here at the major, so
Yeah, definitely easier said than done in a lot of scenarios. We'll see some initial bounties come out, positioned to likely be 2 for 2. Fly up on the high ground down here. Looking over as Universe gets prepared to pick it up, and some packets have been lost. Hopefully
Oh
they
my
can find them,
goodness.
Trent. I don't know where they went.
I don't know. They have to sniff them out there, find some packets.
Yeah, sniff them out indeed. So what do you think overall about these drafts, though? Which team are you favoring here based on draft alone?
Pure draft. If I'm covering those little team names up top there with my fingers here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of a Magnus troll hater a little, I guess. But he also is the monkey. I feel like the monkey can be at least active with the Empower, but it feels like troll just needs so many eyes. Oh, Scriff, this guy's such a diva. as
Oh,
of
there he
now.
is.
And all of a sudden,
That better be sparkling.
yeah, I tell you, I've been yelled at a few times
There
running
will-
past him.
There will be hell to pay.
But
if not.
I think overall, it's like on the one hand, I find Troll's been having some rough games where it seems like he just takes so long to come online. He needs so many items, and then some Trolls having a hard time actually engaging in like the team fights without a Blink Dagger or something. So that gives me some reasons to doubt the one on the Dire. But on the Radiant side, it also kind of feels like maybe a bit greedy. But then I see it's a Sumail Storm, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe this guy's going to get a lot of space going in the mid game in combination with the Pugna, secure some of these outer towers, give a lot of room for Arc Warden. So I'd probably favor the EG lineup, but I don't think right off the bat that one is significantly better than the other. They look fairly
Okay.
evenly matched.
Yeah, generally I think I'd agree with you. With these Troll Warlords, I've had trouble visualizing the ideal times to go to fights. He always feels like that hero that just needs one more item.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can hold you back from those moments where you might be able to close out the game, take one of those game-winning objectives. So we'll see. In the hands of Resolution here, definitely some pressure on this position 1 for forward gaming.
Yeah, and you're in the tri-lane setup here, and you might be looking in that middle and right window and be like, oh, where's the enemy hero? Well, it's because they were doing a lane swap.
Yeah, so Universe heads mid now on the Magnus to match up against Arteezy's Arc Warden. MSS going to head down bottom alongside Yawar. Arc Warden Magnus. Interesting mid matchup. Been a while since we've seen a mid Magnus, in fact.
Indeed. And Universe against his old buddy Arteezy as well.
Yes.
They don't get to lane against each other very often, I wouldn't imagine. If you go back to the stats, this is not a common one that's come up, considering the number of games together.
should still be Arc Warden favored, at least for these couple early levels, but Universe, plenty of last hits to start things off, and we'll kind of level out this lane. Kind of curious to see how this one will progress.
I think what I like about that swap is that it gives them a really good kill opportunity on the Silencer once kind of the levels are there on the Monkey King, whereas maybe with the Magnus it's a little bit more difficult. But MSS way in the back lines there. Gonna grab himself the creep wave, and Silencer is the hero that can't really do anything about this. He throws out a curse, but in the end, MSS should make it there. And well, in case you need some help,
Oh, a
heals
haste
the
ring.
moon boots there. So
Okay.
good to go.
Make it even easier. Yawar not really having a great time down bottom. Only 4-1 in terms of last hits so far. Silencer pretty irritating in this part of the laning phase. And even Ember Spirit. Not the best situation.
And we got both players just back and forth there. We asked for the Hassan Bull, and we end up getting it. They're in the lane versus one another, but they're both pulling creeps far apart. So no interaction here between the brothers. No brotherly love.
Keeping an arm's distance, at least for now. And up top, S4 versus Rezo. Oh, we're going to see SVG and Crit trade some blows. SVG with the high-prize Dazzle Staff. That is the Pipe of Dezen from Nexon, Trent.
I know you love talking about it every time you see Dazzle. How do you keep getting these Dazzle games, by the way?
I don't know. I've really lucked out. Oh, I might have cursed SVG here as he gets initiated on. Trit will go down initially. Resolution gets the first blood. S4 will turn around onto SVG. Can it be a two-for here, though? Resolution can't quite get there in time, but the Whirling Axes will. A double for the Troll Warlord to get things kicked off.
Had a bit of an awkward sidestep for a second there, but he cleaned it up.
Mm-hmm.
So now 2-1 there, and whew, that is
Definitely.
a lot of gold to start your game off with as a troll.
Yeah, it looked sketchy there for SVG, but absolutely worth it to go down, securing not only the first blood, but the double. Now back in the bottom lane, some blows being exchanged. Sumaili's been blocked out, but who's actually going to have the damage? It's Yawar. That's another kill for Forward.
Yeah, the Magnus also, like, in the lane versus the Ember, it could have gone kind of well too, right? Because you're just constantly using your power and everything, but I think the Monkey King just puts a whole other level of harassment on there. And Universe just using his skewer to get away from those Spark Rays. An interesting way to try and go about this matchup. Make sure they proc onto a creep instead. But one thing you're always going to get with an Arc Warden is room control, so MSS denies himself there, but it's kind of hard to fight up against that, right? If he's just using Spark Rates and zoning you, a little bit risky for Universe to go the bottle route. He's going to get lucky with the room being on the bot one, and it looks like Fly's going to be a bit too late unless he can get the range deny here. Skewer for it. Oh, he
And
just
grabs
gets it.
Okay, fills up the bottle, and that's an Invis rune now for Universe. Now back up top, Dazzle, caught by the Decrep, but the Nether Blast will not connect. SVG will be just fine.
It's actually crazy how those 2-minute runes still impact matchups so much in Dota, and this is definitely one of them. I mean, this Arc Warden is trying to spam you out of lane, so by no right should he really be getting that rune. There are essentially two heroes, and one that has just ridiculous range and scouting abilities on the Arc Warden, committed to blocking out these runes, and somehow Universe still managed to get there in time.
Universe still handling this lane pretty well. A lot of denies going the way of Arteezy, as we would expect, so he is about a full level ahead of Universe right now. That'll at least be the 5 for the Magnus.
Yeah, a lot of that coming from just like the lane swap too, and the
That's-
time wasted.
That's a good point. And up top is Bounty spawn. Crit going to get brought down. Another kill for Resolution as he walks over to the Bounty rune. That'll be a 3-for-1 favoring Forward Bounties.
That's 2 points in the poison.
Oh, yes. Sweet Dazzle.
This support Centaur, you know, he's a little bit slower for getting some items. He actually only has 1 armor, believe it or not. I know the hero's really big and beefy and stuff, though, so that Poison Touch does do quite a bit of damage.
Just imagine how good Centaur would be if he had 900 HP and 6 armor right now, Trent. This isn't Storm Spirit, all right?
That's no ogre.
He's no ogre. Better analogy.
Does a little bit more in the mid game, though, if you get the animation. So that's what Crit will be looking for. Plenty of success on these support Centaur Warrunners so far at the major here, so. Down bottom,
Down
MSS.
bottom, yeah. Fly going to get initiated on. You are going to have some right clicks here as the Jingu Mastery gets stacking up, and Fly will go down. Not much the Silencer can do once he gets caught like that.
At this point now, they are 0 kills and 2 deaths in that bottom lane, so this is not a Silencer getting out of control.
Now mid-universe taking some damage, but nothing Skewer can't handle. Makes it back under his tower. Hard for Arteezy to find these kills, but might still have it with the Tempest double. MSS has to rotate in to kill it. And that will keep Universe alive. Lux into another rune. This time it's an Arcane.
That's got to be so frustrating. Okay, can only control the top ones. And that comes back to the aggression there down bottom, though, right? MSS playing like that, getting the kill on the fly.
Magnus oddly well suited to match up against the Arc Warden, at least before level 6 came out. Now that the Tempest double is on the field, going to be a little bit more difficult. Crit even lingering around in mid lane, though. Down bottom, Yawar, he gets caught. Searing Chains will be enough to lock him down, and Sumail finds the kill there.
Yeah, ends up dodging the Fissure with Slight there. So unfortunate there for MSS. I think it was pretty unlikely to save the brother in that case, though.
Crit lingering around mid lane still, looking for the initiation onto Universe. Skewer back. How far do they want to go? They are going to dive it, getting close to the tier 2. The Tempest double on the way. I don't know if they'll actually have the damage here, though, Trent. This is going to be a close one, and man, I underestimated that Arc Warden again. It was not close at all. Universe is dead.
That Tempest double. Ooh. But once again, his nemesis, SVG, returns.
Yep, MSS also going to be here. That'll block him out. SVG with a heal, plenty of auto attacks. Poison will be enough. But now Sumail, he's made the rotation. He brings down the Dazzle.
Wait, there's more.
And Fly also joining the party here. They'll dive into the tier 2. Searing Chains, lock down MSS. He turns with a totem, but it ends with a double for the Ember Spirit. But wait, TP in from Universe. Not going to be able to clean this up, most likely. Healing Salve from Sumail does pick himself up a little bit. Now the TP from the high ground. He'll make it as MSS TP's in.
They can at least block him from coming back to this Remnant, but of course he has Oh, yeah, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to jump onto SVG. He does not have Shallow Grave right now. 2 points into heal instead. And chased down by Sumail and Fly. SVG is done for.
That feels terrible.
Up top, Resolution going to be in trouble now. Q from the Pugna, not enough damage for the kill, and he'll make it back.
What a Sumail play. This guy just drops this Remnant in your face. He knows that you know that he can come back there, and you're like, oh, he's not going to come back. There's a Fissure nearby. They might skewer into an RP or something. No, I'm just going to come back. This early phase boots, once again, just like the previous match where he went absolutely off on the Ember Spirit, he got so aggressive early on in that game, completely dominated the match. He's looking to do it again here, and look at where he's positioning himself. Just so deep in dire territory, hoping to catch a support, trying to rotate to that tower by TPing to the shrine.
Yeah, this is wild. #1 on net worth for his team right now, spending a lot of time in the lane and now just erupting with this movement. Forward are somewhat prepared, though. They've got most of their heroes towards that bottom lane, as well as mid now as Universe and MSS are kind of hiding in the tree line, not giving Sumail that opening. But up top, they're giving a lot of space to S4 and Crit. Those Nether Blasts, still only level 3, but stacking up, they'll be able to bring down that tower pretty quick here if Forward don't make a rotation. Seems they're just going to pressure down bottom and try to go for a tower trade, though Arteezy has TP'd in. That's the Tempest double, though, not the real one.
And this looks like kind of the whole story of EG, just constantly taking that top tower very quickly and then guarding the bottom one as much as they can. If they don't guard the bottom one, then they always want to trade for your mid. Just where you think S4 would want to be going here, but he's currently just sticking on that top wave. Spark Wraith scouting the tree line next to the tower too. Just can't get in here and gives Sumail so much freedom to play around.
Very clumpy end of this laning stage here.
Are they going to get this tier 1 mid without the Pugna?
And maybe the bottom.
And then S4 is going to start harassing the top tower too.
The bottom tier 1 went down, so Forward could try to rotate here, but looks like they might just let it go. There's nobody inbound to even go for a deny. EG completely opens up this side of the map with 2 tier 1s down.
And S4, he's just going to force something up here. I mean, he's got 7 charges, pops one of them on his stick, and the Arcane Boots are coming back in 10 seconds.
I mean, this is the power of the Pugna. If you leave this unchecked, this tower will fall.
Now, one thing is they don't have Stampede, they don't have Global Silence. All this clumping up means less experience for these supports. So, and the Courier's on its way, actually, so maybe that'll be enough, because you really want the Stampede for this bailout situation, but they won't even need it.
10-minute tier 2, baby.
Towers, they just melted. They're just gone.
Yep. Gold lead will shift in favor of EG. Forward, all 5 in enemy territory right now. Kind of posturing aggressively down near that bottom tier 2. Resolution and SVG in pretty deep, but similarly, EG not really reacting right now. S4 the only one inbound. Staying very far back, realizing that most of Forward are off the map. They're likely to be around here, and are EG just going to hand over a tier 2 as well? Siege Creep still doing some damage.
He's tanking that tower.
Looks like they'll be able to keep it alive. Now Resolution taking a lot of damage as the Tempest double comes in. There's the Shallow Grave TP. That'll keep Resolution alive. Now can the rest of Forward make it out? seems so.
They
Ember
have the
Spirit is
Stampede.
on the way. They might be able to grab MSS. Gets slowed down by the Decrep. Yawar pump fakes the Wukong's command, but they are just going to leave their Earthshaker to die. Good defense by EG. They do keep that tower standing.
And what's so painful about not getting that tower there is that, like, how do you ever get back down here to do that again, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's just not a part of the map you want to play at this point for forward.
Speak about left behind here. Fly, he's going to be all alone, still level 5 on the silencer. Yawar will be able to finish him off with a 500 crit to the face. Compliments of the Boundless Strike.
Yeah, at least look at some punish there. All right.
See? Maybe looking for vengeance. The Necronomicon level 1 out on the Arteezy Arc Warden. Very aggressive posture from the Evil Geniuses right now.
So now what we want is Crit is basically going to be farming that bottom lane as much as he can. He wants to get a Blink Dagger, rotate back in the jungle, grab some more. You want Sumail playing very aggressively, trying to deny out that dire jungle, stop him from farming, or at least force him to move in a giant ball from forward gaming. And you see Fly in the mid lane being given some space here too. EG really enabling these supports that were left a bit behind and then the laning stage by giving them the space right now.
Well, supports on the Dire are not doing much better. Both of them still locked at level 5. No dunk, no weave.
And that's the problem, is that they're going to be fighting for every camp right now for a Monkey King and a Troll. But then where does the Shaker go? Well, that's a pretty greedy guy who didn't get a whole lot in the laning stage.
He's got his Tranquil Boots. Could be worse, but yeah, fair point. Not enough room on the map for everyone.
Especially even an Arc Warden.
Arteezy rather far forward in the lane.
Crit down bottom here. Rezo. Speaking of... Oh, he's going to get out.
Yep, be okay. Yasha queued up. Very standard build from Rezo so far. Picked up that Morbid Mask, and looks like SNY will be the first choice.
Yeah, potentially a Manta as well this game.
Yeah, they have a pretty good Manta
BKB
game.
is just so important that I honestly just kind of want like Yasha, Blink, BKB. Maybe he has time for the SNY, but I don't know.
Definitely tempting to get that extra survivability. A lot of burst damage on EG.
Arteezy just taking over their turf. Yawar can dodge through some of these, but they still can't get to him.
Oh, there's the Primal Spring down
Perhaps
to
I
the low
spoke too
ground. Yawar ready to initiate, but they might try to turn it onto him. The Wukong's command comes out. End up being a pretty good zoning tool, but this Monkey King is low. Stampede used as Crit jumps in. Shallow Grave has already come, but that means SVG won't have a second life for himself and make it a twofer as EG secure 2 more.
They just walked through the minefield, underestimated the early damage there, or maybe overestimated the protection from that weave that was coming out, though, because it was not enough to save Yawar at all. That Arc Ward just put so much damage into him with the Necros that were hanging about.
Absolutely. S4 still continuing to be a nuisance in the side lanes, now heading down bottom, spamming out the Nether Blasts. We'll go ahead and TP up top. They see Resolution. They've identified that he's alone. Sumail jumps over the tree line. He's got a double damage. Searing Chains to start things off as now S4 comes in. There's the Decrep, the Nether Blast, right into the life drain, and that'll be the end of the Troll Warlord. A killing spree ended. Some extra gold going to S4.
Yeah, you can see Sumail hops on top, looks at the inventory, and he's like, oh, he doesn't even have a TP. So you can just like right away start getting the damage on there. He buys when he gets back to the base, but was not one at the moment for Rezo.
Blink Dagger not too far off for this Crit Centaur. 15 minutes, 1,900 gold. He's got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, likewise, Universe is picking his up too. They really need this going for them. This should be a kill.
Yep, there's
Wow,
an
they're gonna
RP
commit.
even deployed. They better get the kill for that.
That's a Stampedeless Centaur with MSS nearby. Hey, that kind of shows you that maybe the attitude right now is just like, oh geez, this game's a little bit tough.
Yeah. Of course, Universe, though, having a little bit more room to farm, prioritizing that Blink Dagger for Crit. He's playing that hard support, so I think he'll be okay to take a tumble there. Now the Hand of Midas also up on Arteezy. So plenty of progression being made on the Arc Warden, who is currently the #1 farmer by a nice little margin over that Troll Warlord. And speak of the devil, it's Resolution in the mid, initiated on by the Pugna. Universe will help break things up, and he's just going to TP out right in front of him. No way to stop it.
Yeah, there's a bit of a lack of stuns on this lineup. It's basically just the Ember and the Centaur, but
Dire's middle tower is
Just a little bit.
just another tower with no resistance here. I mean, they just RP'd the Centaur, so I love this maneuver from EG.
Yep.
Even if they were to get a core here, the respawns are so quick right now that it's still a very dire situation here for Forward Gaming. And now the Radiant, I'm sure EG just considering, well, Roche in all aspects, right? There's decent vision in the Dire jungle currently. A little bit of defensive options here to maybe spot when Sumail is and isn't about, but
You think they can kill it fast enough?
it's definitely on the mind. Like, once you get the Maelstrom going for this Arc Warden, he has double Necros.
They definitely like to kill it, no doubt, but a little scary, you know, against an Earthshaker as well as this Magnus with a Blink Dagger. RP's only on cooldown for another 25 seconds. They don't have the best Roche lineup here.
It's true. There's no medallion or anything. It's not necessarily incredible, but, you know, advancing the game.
Yeah. A little scary against the Monkey King as well. He's quite good around the pit.
Now they're just trying to bait out Arc Warden. Yeah. You know, Arteezy main hero this far up, perhaps a bit suspicious here from Forward Gaming. The last time they tried to go on the hero, things didn't end too well.
See what EG can do with this smoke rotation. Might be able to find this opening onto poor SVG, who's just trying to walk through his own jungle. You blink and you'll miss it. The Dazzle has been taken down.
And all these Dire heroes still just doing their own little bait play here with Rezo. Possibly thinking about rotating down here from EG. This would be kind of a bit of a win there for Forward, honestly, if they can get some attention over here. But I think they're just going to start farming up, much like they did in the Dire jungle. They're going to take this lower half of the jungle, try and catch some waves, and just clear out these bottom tier 2 towers, tier 1 tower. Once more, just trying to like force the hand of Forward Gaming.
Good call on that Manta for Resolution. He's got it queued up, gonna skip the Yasha. All right, so the Sanj rather. Meanwhile in the mid, Global Silence deployed as 2 gets stunned by crit. Yawar as well as MSS both fall simultaneously. Another great set of pickups for EG. 14-8. This is getting out of control, Trent. We're only 18 minutes in, and it's already a 6K net worth advantage.
Yeah, and I don't even know what you can itemize, honestly. Like, Rezo, sure, Yasha makes sense because you're like, oh, there's Global Silence, and there's Decrep, and there's the root from the
Manta.
the Ember, and it's just like, yeah, the Manta, it's good in that aspect, but at the same time, he still can't fight, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be extremely difficult. It feels like he needs that and the BKB, and he probably needs a Blink Dagger. Any hope of killing this Ember or this Pugno, we're going to be in the back lines there.
And then by the time he gets BKB Blink on top of that, it's like, you know, I could really use a damage item before I can really kill people. So it's the classic conundrum with the Troll that we were worried about unfolding before us here. Sumail's got his Maelstrom and very close to the Blink Dagger. EG just making so much progress around the map right now.
It's in the same way that Terrorblade is just such a ridiculous hero for winning more. Like when you have these early leads, you just start metaing the towers whenever you want. Pugna's the same thing. I mean, S4 is just down here once more, using that Aether Lens, keeping himself completely safe. And there is pretty decent catch in this game. Maybe he's being a bit greedy, like with Yawar in the area, but he has not been punished.
Visibility rune on Sumail, soon to expire, but they'll find MSS. Sleight of Fist into Searing Chains, crits there with the Blink Dagger, and Shallow Grave.
Man, SVG held that for a while. That was pretty impressive.
Yep, no interrupt. Close one.
And Universe, he goes for a Blink Skewer. Great
Yeah,
target.
Grab the Pugna, and S4 looks like he will go down. EG with a lot of reinforcements nearby, but not going to be able to find the angle to counter-initiate. Ends up just being a quick pick, and another spree ended, this time going the way of Resolution. Good stuff for this Troll, now with that BKB on the way.
Well, that's a bit of a chip into the old lead, but they did have to use RP, so not necessarily the best way to go about it, and could potentially lead into that pressure from EG. I guess they can't really go bottom. It's a little bit difficult at the moment, just with all these Dire heroes. They can't really do Roche that fast, as you said, so in the end, maybe not the most punished for EG right here, and now we have a Blink Dagger for MSS, so
Yep.
finding their little moments here.
Tier 2 in the bottom lane, Arteezy with the deny. That pesky Tempest double. Bummer there for Resolution.
Well, now that tower is dead, we can just claim this part of the map as useless, and no one will come here ever again.
Another smoke here used by EG as well as Forward.
And
Both
MSS
sides looking for an opportunity
Slam
to
in,
initiate.
jamming. Can he do it?
Mojo, all eyes on you.
Oh, there's an Ember.
There's a Monkey King.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Why are we whispering?
Not sure.
Because they're smoked. Okay, makes sense.
RP still down for 30 seconds.
EG's knocking on the door, ringing the bell. Hello? Would anyone like to come and defend their tier 3 tower?
S4, nice positioning here. He's going to come over and start spamming those Nether Blasts. They've already got this tower down below half HP before Forward even really mount much of a defense. Sumail.
Oh man, that's the worst feeling ever, man. You lose a tier 3, you don't even cast a spell.
It wasn't even a fight. It wasn't even the beginning of a fight. It was just a Tempest double and a Nether Blast, and it dies that fast. No opportunity to even use the glyph there for forward.
EG are scanning behind them, checking the shrine. No TP's out. They don't have any wards on at the moment, so they're just a little scared. Fly's going to try and fly some out here on the courier.
Another smoke now from forward. They really want to put this Blink Dagger on MSS to use.
They've got another one on MSS too. They go right after this fight if they don't use the dunk.
Now they're going to catch on to Crit. The dunk to start things off. The Global Silence comes out, and Crit's actually going to survive longer than planned. They turn it onto SVG. Universe will be able to snipe him down with a Shockwave, but a 1-for-1, not what forward were hoping for, especially since that was their big bad dunk cooldown.
Well, at least they didn't use dunk and RP, so they can still threaten the Roche Pit in case EG think about going in there to try and advance their lead. Got that going for them, but at this point in the game, I try. The Boots of Travel being up on the Arc Warden just means constant pressure in that bottom lane. Very difficult for forward gaming to answer. That tower is doomed to fall. Feels nigh impossible to keep defending when there's an Arc Warden up against you. And they're just going to have to wait to use this smoke from MSS. Are they going to go for it right now? The way they're lurking in the tree line, it makes you suspicious of it, but I don't think you want to go without the dunk. These smokes are still far in between, but
Double damage on Troll maybe makes it a little bit tempting here. They will drop a sentry up top, trying to clear out any stray vision, but smoke will be held at least for now. Blink Dagger comes out onto S4. He's already had that level 1 Dagon to go with the Aether Lens, but even more initiation prowess now for the boys in blue.
And more importantly, save potential. The way he almost got crit out of that engagement with the Decrep, now he can do that from a much further range away, the Blink and Decrep. And you look at that damage on the Dire side, yes, it was the Shockwave that finished off crit, and for good reason, because the vast majority of it is physical. Monkey and Troll, they are very physical beings. They hit the gym. They don't really go to wizard school. Probably Slytherins.
All right.
Monkey's probably a Hufflepuff, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
This guy's a bit of a nerd.
You would be a Ravenclaw, though. Nerd. Roche falling quickly. They've got enough farm that they can take it down quick. Already at half HP. Forward, nowhere inbound. The Tempest double. Well, he's going to distract them. That'll buy them the precious time they need.
Distract them by almost killing their support.
Either way, it'll be Roche 1 secured for EG. And they'll give that Aegis of the Immortal over to Arteezy.
Whew. 9k experience lead, 4 Evil Geniuses, 3k XP lead. I mean, hey, look, the XP, it's whittling down a little bit just because they're grouping up.
Yep.
But obviously things looking very good.
It's definitely paid some dividends. Now, how big of a deal is this BKB on Rezo? He's already got the Blink Dagger queued up next, so predicting this item build perfectly so far, Trent.
Wow, I must be a genius
I
to
know.
figure out what items
It's
Troll
really
builds.
wild stuff.
Thank you.
Can you believe he's gone for Magic Immunity?
I
Does this
know.
actually open up ability for them to fight, though?
I mean, that's all on MSS and Universe, honestly. Right?
Okay.
It's true. I mean, the Troll, with the Blink Dagger, Troll cannot decide his own fate.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
he has to rely on the RP, on the Echo Slam.
Down bottom, one of these trees does not match, and there we go. Yoar is just going to TP back, feeling the impending doom on this top barracks as EG posture very aggressively. EG taking their time, though.
I mean, the high ground defense, once you get a bit deeper, is certainly potent there for forward gaming, right? You got the dunk, you got the RP, even just Wukong's command is a bit of a nuisance to fight into, so
It's true.
it certainly is understandable as to how they were able to get the tier 3 so easily. Speaking of tier 3, that shrine really needs to get rid of that thing.
Yeah, that's just a money bag sitting in the jungle.
That's a Tempest double bait right there. You know, you throw that thing on, it's like, oh, I'm just a Tempest double.
Yep.
That's what he sounds like.
I think
Tempest
he's
double.
got enough damage to cut through that regen. You know, he's different from your standard illusion, let's say. Defensive weave used by forward. They're defending this shrine as they smoke up under their own sentry.
Oh, but wait, a counter smoke at the same time. Goodness gracious. Who will tank the gank?
Potential moment of truth here. EG heading up to the high ground.
Look where the Tempest double is. It's just
Shipping
in there.
at the range barracks, but forward with the full wraparound here.
Oh, the vision up on the high ground. They know they have the observer and the sentry.
Sumail breaks this fight up right away. There's the global silence. BKB used by Rezo, but MSS goes down first. It's a spread out fight, but now SVG gets isolated. He'll be able to use his BKB, or Shallow Grave rather. S4 in too
MSS?
far. He gets brought down.
He's not there. There's
Now
a two-man
Universe,
dunk.
he's going to get left behind, and the rest of Forward have to
Oh,
head back to
no.
the high ground.
MSS went back out to the shrine. There was an RP there, but he couldn't follow up. All the damage falling apart. And that goes
That's Barracks.
one lane to Evil Geniuses, outplaying, outmaneuvering in Hassan Bowl round 1.
Yep, Sumail very excited here now. 12K net worth lead. They also forced that buyback out of MSS, so economic damage all around. Got way too excited about that grave, though. I thought it might have been a BKB on the Dazzle trend.
I know how Dazzle impacts you. It's okay.
I just get too giddy. Blink Dagger, though, it's on the Troll, so now he has the power to control his own fate. Will Rezo be able to write his own path, make his mark in history? Uh-oh, Searing Chains, it connects on 2. There's the initiation from
Crit.
Crit. Wukong's command comes out on the back line. Yawar showing off that BKB, but there's just no damage. MSS taking too much. He's silenced. He's going to go down. 3 heroes in the grave without buyback. Forward in a lot of trouble at only 27 minutes. It's a triple kill for Arteezy as he continues to pursue into the base. There's the Stampede. Crit again with initiation as Universe falls. 4 down. This could be the end, Trent.
Yeah, they show no signs of slowing down. And Fly, the objective gamer's been over here hitting the tower the whole time, by the way.
Yeah,
So
that's
my
Silencer
captain's gotta-
sieging.
yeah.
Look out.
He's got this one in the bag, but
Brutal game for Forward.
They played this entire game from behind. Maybe not in the purest form of like gold and net worth and experience and all that, but it certainly felt that way. I don't think I ever saw a moment where they looked like they were going to be advancing this. I think that 3 towers lost in like a minute and a half just sealed this whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a weird tower exchange where it was completely passive, just objectives being taken, but absolutely set EG up for a strong mid-game. Game will not end here, though. Oh, we got a replay?
We do indeed. I believe it was right near the end there. As Crit, I mean, Crit's had a great game too. And it's just,
Beautiful setup.
I know, it kind of looks good too, right? Because there's like this BKB monkey on the back line, but he's only finding a Tempest double, and then the Ember
and an Ember
leaves.
Spirit, yeah.
And MSS hasn't had a dunk since his one onto Crit, like the solo kill.
It's just a tough fight. Tier 2 was still up in the bottom lane, though, so that stops EG from securing Megas. Might have been able to hit Tier 4s there, but not going to take the risk. And they will just back out with the advantage they've already secured.
About a 93% advantage. Dota Plus is feeling charitable here. It would
Yeah,
seem.
I think it might be
Oh,
92.
it went back up. Oh my goodness. They're doing something right here. Forward, keep it up.
Huh. Okay. A little surprised. Must be that Shadow Blade on Universe.
All right, well, Reza, I mean, he's forward here.
Does have BKB and Manta ready. All cooldowns available.
Oh my god, run. There's creeps in our base run.
There's the Tempest double. Get away. Also, Shiva's Guard up on the Arc Warden now. And a smoke from EG in the mid. Right on top. Oh, there was a Dire Observer that just expired. I'm not sure if it saw them, though.
Rezo looks like he's trying to bait something out here.
Yeah, they might know about this.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to pop a smoke at the moment.
Great positioning from Forward, but are they actually going to be able to catch one here?
Yeah, SVG's waiting with the grave. Oh, that dire scan. They're close. They know they're nearby, but they don't quite find them until now.
S4, though, he jumps in. They find Universe, and they pop him immediately. The Global Silence follows. This Dazzle is looking like he'll be brought down next. A double for Crit. S4 walks up to the high ground. Oh, hello there, boys.
Wow, what a quick decrypt.
On the other side, Yawar drops Wukong's command. Resolution jumps into the fight. BKB's deployed, but they just can't stick on anyone. Forward lose 2 and don't even come close to finding a kill of their own. Now MSS, he's going to get brought down, and this looks like the beginning of the end. No BKB on the Troll Warlord means he's got no options. A double for S4 now. Immediate buyback from Rezo. But Tier 4 is now going to be under assault. No Glyph.
Evil Genius is just cementing themselves in the NA positioning. I mean, they are just looking to say, listen, I know you're second in their region, but
The Tempest double is
it's
just
not
going
a
to
close second.
solo them outside of their own well. Pushes the Dazzle back, gets UR relatively low, and actually kills SVG with a Chain Lightning prop into his own well as they kill the Throne.
Most godlike kills when you're 9-0 and 8 are pretty casual, I think, so.
Well, just like that, Trent, 31 minutes in, EG looking like they'll be able to seal the deal. We could see one final hold from Forward. Bottom barracks
Nice
still
heals.
standing. Resolution, though, in pretty deep, looking for a kill onto Arteezy. Sumail's already killed Universe. It's a big dunk from MSS, though. He gets 2. Buybacks, though, being used. Arteezy back into the game, as well as S4, and now forward.
Gets the kill on Yawar.
Get cleaned up, and the throne goes down. 31-13. MSS with at least a little boost of morale for the team there with a dunk to end that spree on Arteezy, not letting him get away without taking a single death. But my word, Trent, EG looking good.
Yeah, I mean, you guys saw that, right? That what more is there to say about that one? Honestly,
Smackdown.
bit
That
of
was-
a slam in there, but luckily we have a halftime show, like any good bowl does,
Mhm.
and that's the panel. At least Forward are gonna hope it's more than a halftime show, though.
Absolutely. I want to know what happened. Panel, what do we got?
Well, you know, we were promised an even game. It wasn't an even game. Evil Genius just walked away with that one. It looked easy for them here with BSJ, Pilot Eye, and Gods, and we were expecting an even. Why was this not an even game, Gods? What caused us to be wrong about that?
Probably a bit of the greed and the picks from forward that I think I had a bit more faith in. The Magnus troll did not really work too well. It was something EG just played around, kite around, out-farmed. Like they're out-farming a Magnus, empowering carries, but they just pushed all those towers really early. They took the tier 2 top after the tier 1 in like 4 or 5 minutes.
And there were just no moves that forward. Like they were slightly behind, right, from the laning stage, but like there's no smoke to do. Like I don't know. Like there's just nothing to do. You're just sitting there waiting. Like I always put more faith in the Ember versus Monkey King matchup, but like they didn't even lane. Obviously, like they didn't even lane against each other. So, and like you can say, well, like why you picked the draft you picked. You know, like why did you go with EG?
Yeah, I mean,
It didn't wake
the one reason I thought it might be even was because of the Ember Monkey King matchup. So I thought you have this Arc Warden hero who kind of functions like Venomancer in regards to like you have to close the gap on him. You have to be able to get on top of him in regards to farming as well as in team fights. And I see this draft, and then they just have no way to reliably catch this Arc Warden. And so the only reason I thought Forward had a chance is because they might be able to like snowball the mid lane. Instead, Arc Warden goes mid. He gets like an incredibly good start, and because the Magnus like ends up coming to lane 2 waves late, and then I want to give like the shout out I give this game is to Sumail, a hero on Ember that like is traditionally like a little bit more of a farmer. He sacrificed his entire game. He sat mid from level 6. Like he literally just went mid. They took mid tower. He was there. He was level 6 at like 7 minutes. He was level 7 at 13 minutes. And that's just because he knows he has an Arc Warden. He knows his job this game is to create space for his Arc Warden. Arc Warden gets massive, and they have no way to deal with it. And when I was so not into this troll pick, and then they picked it.
Yeah.
It's against the Pugna. Like, you just died to this decrep, and that just feels bad as a carry hero if you just die to a hero on a 6-second cooldown ability.
Yeah.
Went with your gut.
Your gut was
should've done the same
correct.
too.
Was there a way for Forward to do better with this draft, or was this just, on hindsight, an outdraft?
It's definitely an outdraft. What could he have done?
I think it was the like allowing silencer if you have Dazzle or Shaker was a big deal.
They needed, I mean, they needed a Helm of the Dominator on this Magnus from the offlane, I think. But at the same time, they
But
need,
Magnus went mid.
yeah, because they had to
well,
swap, right? Because like the
yeah.
lanes were weird. Like the monkey couldn't go mid.
They had the
It looks very
favorable
hard.
lane matchups from the very start.
Yeah, if they
And didn't have to do lane swaps, and then Arc
Yeah.
Warden gets this good early start. He's snowballing because
Yeah.
this Necromidas build, he's just farming everything Ancients, lanes.
actually, yeah, no. If the Magnus starts mid, then he goes Helm of the Dome. Like even from mid lane, like that should handle the Arc Warden pretty well. Like the creep can kind of tank that you have high regen. So that and then he can kind of rotate bottom and get some towers maybe.
It's just a
Something
lane
like-
pressure thing, right? You have
Yeah.
Pugna, you have Arc Warden.
Yep.
Like, Ember is free. Like, he doesn't exactly lane pressure, but how do they kill Ember in the first 15 minutes of the game? And that's why Sumail, like, that's such a big deal about what he did. He's just level 7, but he knows they can't kill him anyway.
Previous series and this game as well, Arc Warden playing a star role. Is that a hero that we're going to see more often? Is that something that we're going to have to find a better answer to? Because it seems like there's not that much there, at least not for the early stages.
Premier hero of
games.
the tournament for sure.
Yeah, we keep talking about what could be like the breakout new hero. Monkey King's being floated, but yeah, Arc Warden right now is maybe a front runner,
Yeah.
the front runner.
Probably
we-
need some different supports.
Yeah.
Try some Furions or something. You need to chase him a bit more, like make his laning stage harder. Then you need like a mid that you need heroes that can run after him and gank him when he's farming.
Is he in a position still, Arc Warden, that is to be picked first 2, as we saw Fnatic do earlier today? Because this was a 4th pick.
No, I don't think so. I think there are too many. Like you can Nixus, for example, too, are like super annoying for that guy. And I guess Storm is a really good hero versus him, but
Hmm.
it's like so in this tournament.
I feel like
Mm.
you have to like that will work once because teams aren't prepared for Arc Warden. Give them like a day of realizing, oh, this hero's a serious issue. Like give them overnight to think about. This is the heroes like Nyx, these hunting type heroes, are what you need to have like in your draft. And he'll just become a hero that's considered. Like
Yeah.
people are not thinking about him, so they're not like the early picks. Well, oftentimes a lot of the heroes people pick are meant to block pick other heroes from being good. Like they'll pick, if you pick a early silencer, you're blocking the Phoenix. But like nobody's considering Arc Warden, so you just get this like perfect fourth pick Arc Warden.
Yeah.
And that's why he's looking so good also.
So he's just on the radar.
Yes.
guess.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely now after today.
He does seem
Yeah.
strong though.
Yeah, the new build
Yeah.
farms very fast.
Well, let's find out if we're going to have another Arc Warden in game number 2 of the series, because that is right around the corner after the break. The last match of the evening here in Kuala Lumpur. And it is an elimination match. It is a North American showdown. Evil Geniuses and Forward Gaming. They're going at it, and Evil Geniuses has won a game up so far. Better yet, they made it look incredibly easy. Yesterday, EG dropped from the lower bracket by getting defeated by NIP, by Ninjas in Pajamas, and Forward. They make it from the lower bracket to here. They looked good yesterday, but how to even begin going about this second game? Because people always say, you know, play to your strengths. Here with Brian, Piladai, and Gods. What are the strengths of Forward Gaming that they can really exploit this series, this game, Pi?
I mean, I think they have to look at the problem first with the first draft. I thought about it a bit more. And I just don't think, like, there's no synergy in their draft. Like, they pick this Earthshaker Dazzle, and then they have nothing to follow them up with. Like, nothing that makes sense with them. So they, like, do their, yeah, they have Magnus Troll, right? But, like, they don't really connect in any way with the first two picks. And, like, generally, these guys have had drafts where they just open with their dual offlane, like, straight up. And then, you know, they play off that. So they need to find something. They can't just pick random heroes.
Have a better plan.
Yeah, no, the thing is, when you see a team pick Troll Warlord a lot, like in my head, they just don't really know what to pick for carry, or like, because it's like a default hero for a carry player to go to, because like you feel good in lane playing that hero, but then like you don't do that much, honestly.
No, it didn't look like a well-oiled machine in that first game, and obviously that's something also the coach can help with. AUI being the coach for Forward Gaming, another ex-EG player as well.
That's true.
Some grudge matches going on here, as Pi also talked about earlier. What do you think, Brian? Game
I
2?
just want them to focus more on mid-game. I feel like EG's high-paced team out of the laning stage, and that was my fear when I saw their Troll pick and these other type heroes, so I want to see Rezo on a hero that, even though he's going to probably farm, that's at least independent. You know, it's not just going to die to one or two heroes. And that's the problem I have with Troll as a carry in general, is that he doesn't ever create space because he just dies to a lot of stuff before 2 or 3 items. And so if he can play like these Pills, the Terrorblades, anything like that, like there's other heroes out there. And I hope they're not afraid to pick maybe a little wonkier of a hero just to have that be a thing, because the lane pressure from EG is always like their strongest suit. So yeah, I think you have to look to counteract that.
That seems so simple.
It's much easier said than
done.
Much easier said than done.
Just
like,
draft a little better, guys.
And pick the right heroes, you know, and make sure you deal with their entire strategy. It's just like when I look at their heroes, like last game, you know, I meme about like this dead lane thing, but like if you have like no hero that can stop the Pugna from just walking down the lane, and like I said, they couldn't catch him. And like how do they ever defend their own tier 2? That's why they're losing it at 10 minutes into the game. Like they have no one that can take the dangerous farm, no one that can enable the rest of the team to play the map. Like EG had Arc Warden, who just teleports his clone to like the dangerous farm. Who on like between Magnus, Troll, and Monkey King takes dangerous farm 10 minutes into the game? Like,
play around your star player, but also so play around your star hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which hero could that be, Gods? Which hero indeed?
Brian mentioned the PLs, the TBs for resolution. One of those banned out the TB, but last game it was let's pick all our supports in the first stage, and particularly bad for Forward because that silencer came out, which just destroyed both Dazzle and Shaker. So maybe we see a Morphling here. Although both teams probably going to be eyeing that off, given that it's in the pool with the PL TB taken out.
I like the PL ban. I think that's Rezo's best hero.
Yeah, I mean there's still an Axe.
That's
But EG, I wonder, do they have something?
I mean, I think EG's happier with the Centaur, maybe. You take the Axe, EG will take a Centaur +1, or maybe they take the Morphling +1.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm sure Forward's realizing, okay, they left this Axe in the pool. What are they going to get if we first pick it?
And Undying is still in the pool. That's the first time in a while that Undying did not get banned in the first phase.
SVG loves
Axe plus Undying. I was going to say Undying, yeah. There you go. Undying is good against Centaur. If you match him as supports, it shuts down him in lane. Even though it's like nice to have Tombstone or like Stampede against Tombstone later.
Yeah.
It's not like as long as you have some stuns to keep him in the Tombstone.
No, the thing is like you can have Stampede versus Tombstone, but like if you drop this Tombstone on Roche, and then like what do you want to do? You want to Stampede away from Roche? Like go ahead, just kill that.
It's funny because it's like I feel like I can predict EG's drafts most games out of all the top tier teams. They always draft very straightforward, but at the same time, like I feel like it consistently beats teams of Forward Gaming's caliber, like these like tier 2-esque teams.
Predicted that quad pick yesterday.
I did not predict the Quap pick. The funny thing is, people were memeing about Quap like probably an hour or two before that game, and how bad she was, and then they picked it.
And bad she was indeed.
Yeah.
It had
Bulba
nothing to
defended
do
the
with
pick
play.
today. Bulba
Did
defended
he?
it, yeah.
Was it his call? Did you talk to him about that?
No, he didn't say it was his call, but like he didn't think it was bad in the draft. Like Sumail wanted it, but he thought they just played it wrong, which I do think it could have been played better. But at the same time, it's like, why would you pick a bad hero when you can just pick a good one?
That seems like
That-
pretty solid reasoning right
yeah,
there.
I thought that was you couldn't touch that one.
No.
Oh, the Pugna though.
That is interesting.
I think they definitely need to take Morphling out on EG. I think that's really important. You have Pugna. You've seen Alliance do this like Pugna Morphling strat, and you also have Morphling against the Tombstone.
Yeah, I'm happy they banned out the Arc Warden on the side of forward as well. We have seen him play dominant role in the
Yeah.
last couple of games.
So many carries getting banned out right here.
Yeah.
So you kind of just learn these problem heroes, and they're heroes like Arc Warden that you're not going to first two pick, but you're going to lose to a game one and just not let that happen again.
Yeah.
Haven't had time to figure it out either, like what you want to do against it.
You know, we talk about heroes being on the radar for picks and bans, and obviously for carries, we all know which ones are most prominently on the radar. Are there any cores that should be on the radar that are just not? Because, for example, I'm thinking back to in the minor when we saw Navi pick Gyrocopter without IO, and won with it too. Very fast-paced core that actually worked out real well.
Jara feels pretty weak to me personally without the IO. I think Clinks maybe, although it seems like
I mean,
people just learned how to play against the strafe now.
Yeah, if you want to take a Navi hero, I would say like Alchemist could probably
Oh,
be
yeah.
played more. I don't know exactly when you can pick him though, but he looked
It would
pretty
always
strong.
be last pick, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
I just like being a carry player. I look at Pugna Centaur and I'm like, what do I pick? Because you usually don't get last pick.
Yeah.
So you're going to be playing something into Pugna Centaur, and it's also going to get countered by the other cores. And I don't know. That never. Like I want to see what EG picks here because like obviously they've had the upper hand so far. I love the Morphling ban as I mentioned. Oh, they banned it themselves from
Yeah,
Forward Gaming.
we went
Oh
forward.
no, that was the opposite of how I thought that was going to go.
I guess they worried EG might pick it
Yeah,
straight
pick it
out
out
of the
of straight-
ban.
Straight
Okay.
out of face.
That has to be why they banned it because it looked so good for them.
Look at that. We've had some quick games in the last few days because yesterday morning, I believe, the average game time was at 47 minutes. Quite the difference.
I think it was 51 even going further back, like end of day
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
I think
you're
Weaver
right.
looks really good for EG
I
here.
was thinking the same thing. That hero is probably one of the top carries right now, still in the pool.
Against Pugna and Centaur, it's very good.
Yeah.
Centaur has 1 armor. Pugna relies on a slow to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Weaver. I wonder what forward wanna.
I think I want a Mirana here.
If they could
It's
end up
already
with
banned.
a
Oh,
with a
okay, never
Dusa
mind.
or something,
Yeah.
but like it's too far away. Like you have to pick something now, obviously.
Yeah.
Alex Bane.
This is where I learn about how these teams think. Like for EG, I see nothing else than Weaver for their
Yeah.
third pick. But if when they show it to me, I get to learn something.
Mm-hmm. Still need to deal with this axe, I think.
Where's the void ban?
Oh, that's coming Weaver 100%.
yeah.
Thank you, Bulba.
Well, that means we gotta see a couple of disables on the side of forward, maybe a silence here and there. We still have silencer in the pool as well.
I feel like teams stop picking Bloodseeker against Weaver, particularly when it's like a
Mm.
one-position Weaver. That hero just ruins Weaver's game a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodseeker's just hard to pull off in the laning stage. They nerfed his passive and they nerfed his first ability so that like
Mhm.
the heal he gets is less. So just certain matchups don't go his way anymore. So they banned the Void, but now they're thinking about it. So maybe they just thought that was Rezo's hero that he likes to play, that they're most afraid of.
No, I wonder. I think you're right. Though. Like Weaver should be the.
They could be discussing whether they third pick it or fourth pick it. If they're not worried about forward taking it.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you. They still need a little bit more burst damage, but I think EG's lineup is looking pretty good. Forward though, they have like those two heroes are like Pugna and Centaur, like just as heroes in themselves, like they're very strong. But I don't know. I'm seeing this Undying. He's not been dealt with. Like he's been
Mhm.
dealt with in the way you can run away from him, but like that
Sure, they
doesn't
just
really
pick
solve the
Ogre.
hero.
Like, I'm not
Ogre?
saying it's like good, but I think like
Uh,
you need a 5 that is okay against Undying and Weaver,
mm.
and they also pick Ogre a lot. So
There's still a Shaker in the pool, I guess. You could pick something like that. It's not too bad. But at the same time, it does not deal with this Undying at all.
It's also like, yeah, you need that, I guess, not really the SVG hero.
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't pick Ogre, your carry hero is like really.
Oh, I know.
What is
The
it? What?
Shadow Shaman is what they.
Oh,
That's
okay.
their hero.
That's
Plus,
it
it's
for it.
actually good versus the heroes.
The only issue I have like not picking a 5 is because you have like a 3/4 combo already kind of.
Yeah, no, but they can run the Shaman as a 5, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
You think he's
Screw it.
still strong?
and these guys love that hero. I
They
think they
have
picked them every game
MSS
before.
played a lot. Yeah.
I think Phoenix can work for them. Even with the Weaver on there. I wouldn't mind seeing a Phoenix.
Damn.
Nice
Highlight
call,
guy coming
Fi.
in
Nice
hot.
call.
No, it was no, because this hero can actually like you drop the wards on the tomb, right? It dies. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm just
No,
thinking
it
about
is
this
really
tombstone.
nice.
That's all I'm
Yeah,
thinking about.
two volleys are good enough.
Yeah, no, because that spell is actually stronger. So yeah, and
Alright.
then you get some disables. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like if they mess up in lanes and there's only one hero, like Shadow Shaman beats up everyone.
Are
doesn't matter.
both Pugna and Centaur then core?
I don't know. The TNC went core Shadow Shaman, I believe, in the game earlier.
They did actually.
so
you're
like
right.
I don't know what's happening anymore. Centaur seems to be a support most of the time.
I mean, could we just be a Centaur 5 now? That's the ongoing trend this tournament. 3s to 4s to 5s.
Yeah. Two bans. Who banned Shadow Shaman?
Some people playing
It was
against forward
against
probably.
forward, I want to say.
I like that
yeah.
pick too.
Luna?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't love it against Centaur, but I like it like with the heroes they have to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
They're also short range though.
On EG,
Yeah.
they are indeed.
I don't know if that's a problem or not.
I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of space on the map. Like my envision, like with the Weaver hero, this game is that he's gonna create a lot of space for whatever carry is gonna happen, and so I needed that carry to just farm really fast, and all the other ones were gone. Luna didn't exactly come to mind, but she fits the bill.
If they're all short range, is this the Winter Wyvern game?
No, you don't want like Wyvern versus Undying and Weaver. It's like it's not very fun.
Why
Even
do-
versus Luna is like so.
Why don't we see Wyvern anymore? It used to be such a top pick, like last week. Even.
No, I think it's the heroes being picked right now. I don't know, like when you see Undying, you don't really want a Wyvern. You see a
Same with
Weaver.
Pugna.
Pugna for sure, yeah.
Okay.
But it can probably be picked a bit more though. I agree with that. I wonder what forward. I'm just thinking of like what course they can go here. I was thinking like Tiny is not good enough. Like they need something. I want to see that Spectre level of like, you know, like. Obviously, I don't think
I wouldn't
Spectre is the
mind
hero though.
Bloodseeker,
But
honestly.
Bloodseeker.
That's the hero I kept thinking.
Bloodseeker
It's not-
Pugna has been a traditional combo. You mentioned it already.
Trying to get like into the Luna, like it's kind of hard until you have that BKB though.
And you can go
But
Blade Mail.
it's-
It's like good against the Weaver too, obviously.
It still feels playable.
I think that's Spectre.
That hero against Undying. Ugh.
No, I mean it's the Weaver and Undying, but like she is very good against Luna. I just don't know about her, like how easy the lane is gonna be for her.
Well, I've been told from people that I trust drafting more than me that, like, I thought Spectre vs. Undying wasn't good. They said it's, like, unplayable. Because the Tombstone gives 1800 vision at nighttime and day. So team fights, like, the vision part of Haunt has no effect. They can just sit on top of the Tombstone, so, like, during the Haunt, it just doesn't matter.
It's bad.
The
I mean,
ult-
I think Phoenix is worse though.
For Spectre?
Yeah.
I can see that.
But like they're similar things, right? Like this ability use and like you can't really fight into it. But it all depends. Like if you get because they have every team has a lot of things they drop down, right? Like they can drop down the Rust awards, and if they drop down the Pugna award, like around the Tombstone, and then they haunt, like they still can't
This
fight.
is
They have to
true.
run.
This is true.
I don't know about the lane though. Like I don't know what is EG's dual off. You know, like where are they putting the Spectre? Like what do they even wanna? They wanted to lane versus Axe, I'm guessing.
Axe Weaver, but I don't know if I
Is
feel
that
like it's,
good?
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
Luna Undying and Axe Weaver is their combos.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's particularly good.
No, I think usually they put the Axe with their carries. So like Axe.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
you said that Axe Luna?
I thought it was going to be Undying Luna.
No, I think they want to put the Undying with Weaver because you can go on people like at level 2.
I think they'll more importantly match the Undying against Centaur and Axe against the Shaman.
Okay.
Like I think that's actually more important.
All right.
Well, in any case, both teams need a mid, most likely.
Most likely. Could be Pugna mid, but probably not. They go for the TA ban, maybe Alina coming in. That makes sense.
The TA ban and the Lena pickup.
Pretty classic there.
This could be an okay tiny game, I think. It's like it's not good in the team fights really, but like how the like I think you can always kind of start the fight with this tiny. And there are 3 targets you one-shot here, like for sure. Like the Lina dice, the Pugna dice, and the Shaman dice.
Toss in the axe. See where that happens.
There might be something better done. Like just Invoker.
Yeah, something to start these fights maybe too, because like right now, if you're playing support axe, Zeppelin could take some time to.
No,
come
you're
out.
right. Yeah, I like the
Invoker,
tiny.
yeah.
Invoker.
Invoker it is.
That was the only one that stood out to me out of all the suggestions.
We finally get Sumail Invoker. I
Yeah.
feel like haven't seen this in a little while. Hasn't been getting picked, and he's such a good Invoker player.
We haven't seen a lot of Invoker in general, I feel. At least not enough for my liking.
A lot of Fnatic Invoker playing versus Morphling
Mm.
in the mid lane.
So game 2,
Ooh, support Weaver. Core X.
it is a support
Ah.
Weaver. Good to note before you guys decide who you think is going to take the second game, because we hinted at a lot of problems at forward head in the first game. One of them was laning stage. Is it solved?
This Spectre just is going to have a tough time, I feel like, wherever you go. You haven't got the best lane support to secure your lane.
I think the Axe should definitely be cutting creeps, and then, yeah, the mid lane. God, these predictions are impossible. I mean, I'm going to go with AG. I think the Axe will get too farmed, and like they won't get their game going on forward.
I'm going with EG as well.
Yeah.
That's what my gut tells me. Like
Brian?
Brian told me we need to go with our gut more often.
Game
Yeah.
plan for forward, is it enough?
I
or
feel like the
not?
only way forward wins is by getting on top of Luna, and they have Axe, Undying, and most likely Coswex Invoker this game. And I hate Spectre, man. I think the
And it
hero's
is a
garbage.
support centaur, so he's not going to have an early blink as well.
Yeah, I'm going for EG as well.
Whew, I'm wondering, is there maybe a couple of forward fans on our caster desk, Transitiori? Do you think that they can tie the series? Come on, sound a little bit more convinced.
As much as I like to be a contrarian Sheever, I don't know. I worry for resolution this one. I
Oh,
feel like it
please.
could be similar to last game. What? You got the
It's
forward.
fine. It's fine.
It's
Fandom over
fine,
here.
sister.
Who won game 1? Pugna won game 1. Where's Pugna now? He's on forward gaming, so clearly they'll be victorious. I mean, it's simple math. guys.
It's that easy.
Simple math, any math. What could possibly go wrong? See you after the game.
All right. Well, Trent, I don't know. It's pretty up-tempo for EG. You got a Luna, you
Wow.
got an Undying, you got
Fancy
an Axe,
caster words there,
and a
mister.
support Weaver.
Yeah.
They're ready to put the pedal to the metal, big boy.
Yeah, okay. Well, Luna draft, I did really like the Invoke. I mean, I liked all the suggestions. They were on point there. That panel, I mean, round of applause there. They were sniping those picks. They saw all the good heroes in this one. Goodness gracious, can't wait till there's a new patch and the panel's actually hired again.
Yeah, imagine that. Definitely options for forward this game. I'm hoping Rezo can do okay with this Spectre, but she's going to need a little bit of time to come online.
Yeah, I thought that the logic in the core Axe and the support Weaver was that they were assuming it would be a Spectre in the Radiant offlane, like the way the EG tend to run it. So I thought maybe forward we're going to try and mirror that and try and play it up top. And then with that way, they'd have the Luna and the Undying versus the Spectre. So it looks like that might end up happening. I don't know. He's still going back and forth here on the Spectre.
Undecided. Now headed back down bottom.
I mean, MSS is trying to scout. You can see he's gone very deep up inside that dire jungle to find any heroes. And EG just giving up the top 2 runes to not alert them as to any of their laning presence.
Yep. Even spread as the bounties spawn, and these initial lanes will be figured out. Resolution will indeed commit to the bottom. No surprise to see Lina headed mid, and that means it'll be a Pugna Centaur off lane for forward here. The EG lanes may be a little bit more predictable. It'll be Luna and Undying up top.
Well, SVG, they have this very cool ward inside their own jungle. A little unusual, right? You're like, oh, why would you ward there? Well, it's an Axe. He's trying to come and cut, and SVG is on it instantaneously here.
See if S4 can actually get away with this. It was a Sunstrike there in the mid.
Yeah, it was a nice
Sumail.
little attempt there. And they're still battling up here with SVG and S4.
Yep, we got our split screen on right now, but S4 and SVG both very low. We'll give you the radio play-by-play as we look at how everyone else is getting settled.
It's not going to wind up. They'll just trade down to about 20% HP each and go their separate ways with 5 more tangos.
S4 did clear out the wave, though.
In the inventory for S4, so he did indeed. Very frustrating to play against this Axe.
He's got 3 of the 4. He's quite grateful for that farm that he's found.
Yeah, and the salve from Crit.
Also
Even more
grateful
so.
for that. So hiding in the trees, he will pop out, find some creeps, and oh, hello there. Some extra farm.
Now, he thinks he's being sneaky here, but that ward is spotting Crit at the moment.
Yes. Crit on the way in, ready to put some pressure on SVG. This level 1 Shadow Shaman hit by the bugs.
Oh, I don't think that's how we saw that playing out, considering he had the vision. Oh,
Not
maybe he'll
gonna
be
go
survive.
down, though. He's going to be all right.
SVG God looking at pushing it right to the limits, this guy. And unfortunately, in the end, he doesn't do any harass back, takes a lot himself, and at least in the very top lane, it seems Arteezy's getting harassed up some.
Yep, we'll see him pushed back by MSS here. Fly getting a couple of extra right clicks in. Universe going for the Q. Ending up pretty all right for Resolution, though. Leading the last hits right now. Looks like he's not struggling at all trying to get these creeps under the tower.
Yeah, he's got his Quelling Blade, he's got a Stout Shield. He'll be okay in the end here. I mean, Rezo obviously one of the better CSers around there. CISCSer.
SVG will rejoin the party back down bottom as he TPs in. And now towards the mid, Crit gearing up for a rotation. Shikuchi forward, Yawar very far forward. Cold Snap to get things started. This looks like it'll be an easy one for EG as the forward mid gets brought down. First blood drawn by the Weaver.
Gotta love that they're giving us what we wanted for the Hassan Bowl. We get them versus each other again in the laning stage, and once more it's Sumail coming out on top.
At least for now. Back down bottom, S4 still doing a nice job cutting this creep wave, trying to put as much pressure as he can onto SVG, but good positioning from the Rasta near the tower, so S4 can't commit for a kill.
It's so frustrating because there's just nothing you can do. Once he's this battle hunger, he can kill virtually any support that comes in this lane, especially if he gets any semblance of a level advantage over top of him on this axe. That's virtually guaranteed as long as he gets that first wave.
Yep. That's even a level 2 battle.
Oh, he's got the Ring of Health delivered from the Courier now, too. Like, you can't even zone this guy out now. Like,
Yeah.
sure, he has one Tango left, but level 1 Ether Shock's not going to be enough.
Oh, we've seen this story before. Mid lane, this time Yawar does connect with an LSA. Sunstrike, it's on the money.
Cool guys.
Sumail rubbing it in.
They don't even look. Turns his back. See you later, brother. Back to the well you go. And this is the power of these maneuverable heroes that always get picked with this axe, who cuts the waves like this, is because you just want to be able to go from that bottom. If the axe is successful, he doesn't need your help. You want to rotate to another lane, be able to help out some kills, especially the mid lane. And remember, they've had this ward here, right? And it's still not enough.
Yeah, it's even close to expiring. Hasn't really turned the tides at all. Back up top, Fly taking some damage, though Universe pretty much out of mana here. Does have a couple of stick charges. They are doing a good job slowing down Arteezy's farm. 12-2 right now in the Dire safe lane. Not the dream.
Yeah, very much true. Unfortunately, it's kind of an odd trade-off because it's going to Universe, so the Pugna, it's like not a very mobile hero in terms of like targeting enemy heroes. However, he can try and close out some of that map space. So perhaps if this Pugna keeps going the way he is, maybe he can close down that tower in the top lane, rotate mid, try and create some space for Yawar. He does catch an LSA there in the mid onto Sumail, but
Both supports now rotating over. Crit lingering nearby. SVG has dropped down a Sentry Ward, so Weaver needs to be a little careful. He's going to come charging in. There is a Shackle. Yawar now on the way. LSA to follow up. Has the Dragon Slave. Ether Shock. There'll be a little bit of vengeance for this Alina as she gets the first kill up on the scoreboard for Team Forward.
nice play. Predicting again that he'd make that rotation, seeing him coming through with the vision, and then also playing it real cool as he Shikuchi'd under the Sentry for a little bit. But the bounty runes,
Rezo grabs one. Looks like
I
SVG
believe
will
that's
grab
gonna
the
be
other.
4.
4 for Forward at the first spawn. Okay, well, that'll give them a net worth lead, actually.
There you go.
Pretty nice. But Vanguard for S4, so Axe
Arcane.
now even more difficult to deal with.
Yeah. Arcane's for Universe, though. I mean, that is something. In combination with the Centaur onto this Luna, they might be able to bully Arteezy out of here. Fly.
They're looking for the wraparound. First, hiding in the tree line. It's the ultimate from the Spectre. She's going to haunt up top onto Arteezy. They want this, but can they find it? Soul Rip from Fly buys Arteezy a little bit of time. Stick charges as well. The Decrep sets up the stun onto Fly, and instead they'll have to settle for a kill onto the Undying. Not the high prize target they were hoping for.
Yeah, and they might have lost the Catapult, but they do have a Pugna, so maybe they can still turn this into a bit of damage in that top tower. As S4 continues to just cut the waves there.
Oh,
MSS.
MSS, yeah, he's going to get caught. Arteezy looking like he'll be able to bring him down. It's a little bit of extra time, compliments of the Decrep, but sets up for a Lucent Beam that secures the kill.
I believe he just got mangoed by someone, didn't he? For that TP, or for the Lucent Beam. That's pretty nice.
Now SVG in some trouble. There is a shrine available.
Oh, but there's an Invis UR coming through.
S4 opting to about face. Knows Yawar is missing as Resolution comes in with the dagger. There's the LSA, and this Axe is finally going to get punished shackles. They will bring him down.
So they traded all of this Axe farm for all the Spectre farm. And what's happened at this point? The Spectre went top, got a kill, came back to farming, and now the Axe has been picked off by the mid hero on forward, kind of popping that bit of a gold pinata starting off. So what matters when you give these free lanes is who's able to actually exert that power over the rest of the map. But Arteezy fighting back despite the pressure into his own lane.
Nice stun from MSS on 2, keeps Universe alive. Sunstrike, not even gonna need it. Arteezy able to grab him with another Lucent Beam. 4-3. EG reclaims some momentum. Might even look for a go onto MSS. Kind of limited on slows
Yeah,
here,
a bit
but
of a bold maneuver there.
Crit on his way in, gets stunned under the tower. Double edge, that'll be the end of Crit.
Speaking of bold, they don't have a sentry. They're probably going to know that ward's there, though, just by the way they played that, I feel like. And yeah, a worthy tip.
Talk about your all-time backfires.
Just feed my enemy in lane. Thanks a lot, Crit.
And MSS tips Sumail. Okay. Now, oh, it was the pre-tip. SVG comes in to set it up, follow up LSA. There's the Laguna, but Fly with the Soul Rip keeps his mid laner alive. There better be a tip back the other way.
Down the bottom lane, too. S4 is just playing under the tower right on top of Rezo, trying to deny creeps in his face. Knowing there's not going to be any rotations, but then Crit comes through as well. And now he just feeds bottom lane. Crit, what's going on, buddy? I know you're a support Weaver, but you need some levels, dude. You're level 3 at 8 minutes?
Just
that
like,
Shukuchi cooldown's a bit long for that.
I mean, just like that, Resolution is having one hell of a laning stage right now. 8 minutes in, he's already got his power treads. The Radiant's queued up, 4,200 net worth, leading the charts, 400 up on the Axe. This is great stuff for the safe lane Spectre.
Yeah, the concerns will be coming through with the next Sunstrikes, likely, right? As the Exort starts to stack up on Sumail. Call, Sunstrike should be the bread and butter way to try and lock down Rezo. And Rezo's got to wonder, like, how much longer can I stay here? Because it's starting to feel dangerous with how aggressive S4's playing and Fly coming through here, too. Ooh, with this Tombstone, he might even get a chance for a TP. Just has to make sure he's ready to dagger.
There's a potential haunt available here for Resolution to make the great escape. I want to take this tower down, open up this jungle a little bit.
Pugna's not level 6, though. Maybe this fight's a little easier with some life drain.
Top tower is under attack.
Definitely so. Fly with this nice aggressive positioning. Rezo pings him out. They'll find him, takes a decay. Tombstone breaks down the trees.
Oh, that was his dagger committed.
There's the haunt. He's going to reality to Arteezy in the jungle. Arteezy doesn't have enough mana for the Eclipse with the stick, but he needs the vision. Rezo, he's playing some Ring Around the Rosie.
Backup coming through, SVG.
Sunstrike, not on the mark, but Sumail's made the rotation. There's a tornado.
Dire's top tower
He will be able to get into the Ghost Walk. Head back to safety. Meanwhile, that bottom tier 1 goes down as Universe grabs that tier 1 tower up top.
All right, Rezo just chilling up top for a bit until he's ready to TP out his backpack, and down bottom he'll go to grab that. So, well, in the end, they still secured the tower down bottom, although they didn't get a kill. So nice way by Rezo to at least prevent that. It does now put S4 to the top of the charts here.
Crit TP out.
Radiant
Okay.
scanning.
Some good wards, or at least a singleton ward from EG in the enemy jungle.
This tome is going to be very important here for forward gaming. Trying to get level 6 here onto MSS. Give the Centaur Warrunner a chance to enable his Lina. Another hero that's somewhat like the Troll Warlord, very notorious for needing quite a few items, but certainly comes online a lot easier and can actually participate in little skirmishes and ganks when she has some things like a Haste Rune or Stampede. Plenty of burst damage.
I think they might give the tone to the Shadow Shaman. He's actually level 4 himself. He's the one that's picked it up right now.
I feel like he might just be buying for MSS, honestly, so he sells Blink Gold.
Yep, totally possible. They will get another kill on Crit up top, so MSS finding a pick-me up there, halfway through 5. 800 gold in the bank.
And S4 just continuing to play so aggressively.
Now a smoke from EG, Arteezy and Fly smoke up on their high ground near the Ancients. Looking for a potential rotation. Not going to find it mid. They'll have to venture into enemy jungle territory. They want to make that happen. Instead, they're going to head up top. MSS and Universe relatively far forward here.
There's a fresh medallion here as well onto Crit. I mean, benefits of playing a support that doesn't need boots. So if this fight kicks off, that will help to chew through this Centaur and Pugna.
Arteezy does have an Eclipse. It'll be deployed. They jump in onto MSS. He'll be the first one to go down. Now Universe with the TP out. That tornado. It's a little guy. A little millimeter.
It was just a bit off. Not quite enough in the tank there from Sumail.
Now, Rasta Ward's
Ooh,
mid.
nice stun.
Fly. He's going to get caught by a Laguna. Shackles. That'll secure the kill.
A Tombstoneless Undying TP's into your lane. Not the most terrifying thing.
I like this play, though. SVG was the one to use the tome.
Yeah,
Secures
it
the
paid
ultimate.
off.
And they might be able to get the tower out of this. Sumail drops the meatball from the skies, but now he gets caught by the Shackles. You are low on mana, but plenty of damage as Universe brings him down. Arteezy trying to pull the creep wave off, but you're not going to stop this Pugna and his Nether Blast from securing your tower.
Yeah, don't need the Stampede with a haste rune, so they make it work. And speaking of runes, it's going to be a regen top for UR too. Bottles that up. And, well, you could think about it going to crit potentially. As he is showing up near that top wave, but they're just going to happily let MSS continue farming, it seems. No real threat to his life.
Mask of Madness up on Arteezy. Nice farming tool for him as he clears out the jungle.
Yeah, he's plenty of slots down on the old net worth chart behind the Spectre, but he's not that far behind, but 1,500 gold. It's not the end of the world or anything, but obviously Rezo having a much better game at this point. He is under vision here, a very sneaky ward spotting where Rezo's farming, at least in the area now, just outside some sentries here.
Well, EG smoke up again, trying to put this ward to good use. S4 ready to show off this Blink Dagger now.
They're being backed up here, though. I mean, supports are nearby. Everyone's kind of here right now. This won't be a good fight for EG.
They get a ward down outside of the tree line.
Oh,
now
they smoke.
forward smoke up right next to it. A couple of them were in fog, but Fly on the high ground gets the tombstone down. LSA, a lot of burst damage.
He knew he was just dead, I think. Well, S4, though, I don't know about this one.
Sunstrike will connect on SVG. S4 is still pretty healthy. Crit on the back line, throws some bugs. Laguna Blade gets mitigated by the Yules. That was not ideal as SVG gets dunked. They'll still find the kill onto S4, but all 5 of forward have rotated for this. They get a 2-for-1.
I mean, they're kind of there anyway. I think that's totally fine.
That's true.
A bit of an odd go there. Especially, like, I get Fly because, like, the smoke's popping, but I guess they just thought there were less heroes in the area. Not expecting so many to be there, so.
Don't necessarily expect all 5 clumped up like that at 13 minutes. Somewhat atypical. Rezo making a lot of progress towards this relic. Only 800 gold off that first piece of the Radiance.
And
This
that's
is kind of the dream for the Spectre. He's gotten a lot of space.
Well, it comes to that clumping, as you said, just like they're playing in this area where they're intercepting these ganks that are meant for Rezo, essentially. They're hoping to kind of skate out of that area, see no one, and then perhaps find themselves a very quick grab onto Resolution using that Sunstrike. But
Was that Yule's Laguna just a misclick there? Did
I know, it looked very odd.
I thought I hit a lag spike or something, but
I think he went for the Laguna and then realized that he might be able to save SVG if he used the Yules, so then he used the Yules. But yeah, it was really weird. Pretty sure it dodged the damage from
it
his
did.
own Yules.
Yeah, almost positive it did. S4, Blink Dagger over the tree line, looking for an initiation, but it's going to go the other way. He'll get hexed, surrounded by wards. Now the LSA follow up, Laguna to the face. This time it connects, and S4 gets punished, put 6 feet under as forward. Take a few steps forward.
Yeah, snakes are used for the kill, so at least that can perhaps mitigate any sort of push in the top lane, but thankfully they also have a Pugna. So they can be happy with that. No Nether Ward, but that means he's got a lot of damage.
Whoa, Weaver walks away, double digits of HP, but close one. 3K net worth advantage for this Radiant squad.
Very aggressive
Much
vision
different.
here from SVG too. One ward expiring near him, but one place further in. Gonna try and protect himself as he puts a couple shaman punches into that tower. And although that ward's still scouting Rezo, he's still farming. It's not slowing him down at all.
Nope.
This isn't the Morphling that just gets the random Sunstrike deaths.
No, certainly not. MSS having a pretty good game himself, now very close to the Blink Dagger. Always a turning point for the Centaur.
Crit kind of baiting under the tower here almost, but he gets decrept up, dusted too.
Able to
able to
make it
escape.
back.
Is there any hope of a fight though is the real question. I mean, they have most of the tools here, right? From EG.
Another deep ward from Fly, although unfortunately it is in place of a sentry. Likely to be scouted out, but EG with the right idea, looking for opportunities to try to hunt this Spectre.
Radiant's bottom tower
But that defensive ward here, pretty much that shrine been warded up almost his entire game. And helping Resolution is he's just about there, and this Radiance is going to be coming online before Arteezy would, well, generally be ready for it, but he's gone for a pretty budget build here. The Mask into the Lance, and then right for a BKB.
Just needs to survive. Set up onto the Undying. Yawar with an LSA sees Arteezy nearby and just backs out. Meanwhile, up top, another Dust used on crit, but he'll be able to Shikuchi away once more.
He's been holding this tower for so long versus like 3 heroes at Forward Gaming. They don't have quite enough catch to go right under the tower. And they also don't want to commit maybe when they don't have the best vision in that top area. They see behind the tower, but I'm not sure if they can spot exactly who's lurking, like kind of where Sumail is playing right now in S4. And Arteezy getting a lot of space. That dire triangle certainly paying dividends towards him. He's nearly caught up to the Spectre. He's close about 500 gold on the gap, so
Yeah, I mean, that's
only 1K to go.
kind of the power of the Mask of Madness. You think of it as that fighting tool sometimes, but it's a great farming piece in these kind of scenarios. Lets you run around the jungle a little bit faster, obviously increases your DPS quite a bit. See some Rost wards deployed to try to finish off that tier 1 bottom. That forces a glyph. Now up top, Universe goes in onto the Weaver. Time lapse, Arteezy looking for the Lucent Beam. He finds it, that'll be the end of the TP, and Universe will have no chance to survive. Eclipse plus bugs means the trees aren't going to help you too much.
Yeah, 0 help on that one. Another kind of powerful part of this support Weaver, Vision. I mean, not a lot of Vision supports left in the pool these days. We, of course, saw the attempt for Milan on the Clockwork. Didn't go too well for him, but aside from that, no one else really bringing the Vision game. But this Weaver gets it done with the bugs. Really helps getting those tree lines.
Having to go onto S4. He'll be able to blink back to safety, but Fly caught by a Hex. Now the Stampede.
Yeah, I like how they just ignore him, because you want this high price kill.
They really want S4. Looks like they're going to find both. The Yules sets it up. Laguna Blade means they're not messing around. No room for EG to come in and turn this. Yawar now on a killing spree. Great start for this Lina. Blink, Yules, now BKB queued up as they smoke in the mid.
Yeah, now we're just looking for a fight with this Radiance, right? You just want to get aggressive, create some sort of a chaotic moment there where EG kind of has to decide if they're going to commit or not, and then the second they're fully in, the Haunt comes out. Tons of damage early on in the game, no BKBs to slow you down. And I'd like to see some dust on that Spectre too, just in case they run into some issues with that Invoker.
Still not a huge lead for Forward, though. Feels like they've been kind of setting the tempo a little bit the last 5 minutes or so, but EG hanging in there. It's still only a 2-3K net worth lead.
Yeah, I think it's because every time you look at Arteezy and Sumail, they're hitting creeps.
Yep.
Just nonstop.
Oh, mid lane, S4 sets it up onto SVG. Nice Sunstrike into a dunk. Easy pickoff. But yeah, you're right. These two cores have really been farming nicely. Keeping up with the new fashion on Invoker. No Handamitis, just going straight for the Aghanim Scepter, and now also BKB queued up for Sumail.
Yeah, no doubt the most important item in this one for them. Try and stem the bleeding in this bit of a mid-game when the Lina really wants to get rolling. And while speaking of which, you are also thinking the same way. Heading towards a very early BKB of his own. So with all these BKBs coming out, what do we got that's actually piercing through there? It looks like it's just Axe. Nothing else that's really going to have much of an impact.
Sunstrike, yeah?
Yeah, that's also true.
It's a big one.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll allow it. We'll count it. I think more control, but okay. You know, right clicks go through BKB too.
Wowzers. Okay.
Not a lot of like Roche threat really from the Radiant. The best shot they would have would be with the Snakes. So if they can force EG into a spot, like they have very good forward vision now, it would be risky, but I'd say doable to go for the Snakes in a situation like this. They're not like a super hard commit. I think they're going for it. They're pinging right now from MSS.
Pretty scary against the Invoker, though. You just toss a Sunstrike in there, give you a free scouting tool. A little risky for my blood.
It doesn't really seem necessary, and now with the BKB, oh, they really don't want it.
Oh, that ward.
Okay, this is the big fight now. So what do they see at the moment? They can spot SVG. Thinking about initiation here. S4 getting closer, but now they see MSS too.
Hex onto the Weaver, get things started. There's the Haunt. Wards come
Big
down.
stomp.
Huge setup from MSS. They get one. They get two. EG on full retreat on the back line. BKB used by Arteezy. They've lost S4.
The Eclipse did nothing. Self-fuels from Yawar.
Right at the LSA. It's going to be 4 down on EG.
Oh.
Forward Gaming break this wide open, and now they'll get a tier 2 mid. A 2K net worth swing and crippling fight for the Evil Genius.
I think maybe EG thought they were in the Roche pit, and they were kind of getting ready to set up there. So, like, in that mindset, you're thinking, okay, SVG is just out here kind of scouting and being a body block. Let's quickly kill him and move in towards the Roche pit. That kind of looked like the play, right? And then you're maybe waiting to Tornado or something because you think the heroes are in there. But What a jump from MSS. I thought he was getting a little bit late. He's waiting and waiting, and then finally that perfect moment hits on 4 heroes, and the damage from Rezo just starts stacking up so quickly.
Unbelievable from this Centaur. They won't be able to do too much to the high ground. They chip away at that tier 3 tower, but Forward going to count their blessings. They will back up just a little bit here as 4 TPs into the shrine. He's surrounded by enemies, might not even know it. MSS looking for the stomp, but he's able to blink down to the low ground. They'll set it up onto the Shadow Shaman again. The easy combo. There is also a Blade Mail out on the Axe, so they can continue to rinse and repeat with that strategy. Now on pursuit of Universe, not going to blink up to the high ground.
Yeah, MSS that was there
Look
trying
at this.
to guard SVG while he's getting
Trent,
those
they
D
know
wards
Haunt
down.
is down. They know wards are down. Now EG are going to be the ones to walk into the
And
pit.
they can do it much faster. They don't commit all too much at all.
Medallion, Alacrity, plus Luna Aura. Yeah, Roche is dead.
I love those zombies tanking it up too. Makes it very low risk.
Man, a step backward for EG, but very nice to secure the Roche like that. Will go to the hands of Arteezy, and also this Aghanim Scepter on Weaver, that big core item for support Weaver we always talk about. 1,200 gold
Are
away.
you saying it was 1 step forward and then 2 steps back? Is that what you were going for? Yeah. Missed opportunities. here,
No.
guys.
Tier 1 mid falls as well, so opens up this Radiant side of the map just a little bit more.
Dire's bottom tower.
We've got a real game on our hands. Forward still with the lead, but EG not out of it yet.
Another quick spike here, though, from Rezo. I feel like he just kind of got that Radiance fight. Now he's already up to the Manta, too. Really increases his overall damage. BKB for UR as well. So they still want to try and push things. Try and find another fight. I think Universe is kind of peaking at the moment, right? He's going around getting these last couple towers. Certainly doing much like S4 did in the previous match. And what a recovery from Crit. You know, gotta give a little bit of props to a guy that gets shut down so hard, so early on in this game, and now he's suddenly 1 component away from an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, very impressive farm here. Nipping at the heels of that Centaur in terms of supports.
I will say a lot of the damage and focus from Forward Gaming is AoE, though. This isn't the best game I've ever seen for a Weaver Aghanims.
I guess Laguna Blade, kind of their big burst piece, but
Also, just like most importantly, it's like if they catch Sumail +1, you're just gonna try and save Sumail. You know, you just gotta identify who's the right target in that hoof stomp, and getting focused down here by the Lina and try and get the save on there.
well, the Spectre Classic, 4-hero smoke, while old Spectre farms the jungle. They'll get a deep ward down. Man, that R button on the Ghost. It's a good one.
Very
Tier
practical.
2, very practical, yes. It's a real bargain.
S4 just trading in the top lane at the very least, so they get something out of this. All the tier 2 drops, but
It's the last outer tower for EG, in fact. Butterfly queued up for Arteezy, about halfway there as he continues to farm out the Dire jungle. But Forward, they want to keep this a high-octane game. They're moving around, they're hunting. They are hungry for blood, Trent.
from here, this game, like,
Radiant's top
they've now
tower is under
taken care of all these towers, as you said, so now we start looking like how much can they influence the lanes? Can they put EG into awkward positions? Shadow Shaman's kind of okay at splitting. Centaur's all right. They're kind of like these mediocre wave pushers. Lina's definitely one of the better ones, but also into a build where it's going to be really difficult for UR to get into like Boots of Travel, really. So, I don't know. It's difficult to keep the waves in full control for them, especially when S4 is just going to be doing these cheeky little wave cuts and stuff, and even at this moment, giving some protection over to Arteezy.
Movement towards Crit down in this bottom lane, but he'll Shikuchi back to safety as the Spectral Dagger flies through.
So they see UR mid, and they see Rezo bottom. What are they going to do? Arteezy just deciding he buys his BK or his
Whoa,
butterfly,
Butterfly
and he moves
already.
into the tower. He says, you know, I'm going to force something here.
Butterfly and Aghanim, some big items for EG. Definitely getting the better of this last window in terms of farm. That gap is closing, and quickly. Forward have been moving around on the hunt, not really prioritizing farm nearly as much, and that'll be a free tier 2 up top for Arteezy, left completely unchecked.
Yeah, that's about 3K of the lead lost now for Forward Gaming, and it's in a very big way, as you were just pointing out, all those items, and then add on top of that the 10-second BKB now available for Sumail. So everything coming together here for Evil Geniuses.
The Aegis, they've got almost exactly a minute. And that guy will be reclaimed.
Rezo very correct in his circling there. We've got the majority of those EG heroes. They are playing up in the vicinity. And Arteezy revealing himself there on the wave. So Question is, what do you want to do about this? You have the Haunt. I mean, you can help get yourself a good jump. They're sending in a MSS Illusion, maybe hoping to bait something.
I think you want to wait out the Aegis at this point if you're forward. With less than a minute to go.
No, EG's certainly not falling for any sort of... Yeah, they're just cutting the waves. I love this.
I mean, I don't know how long you want to wait, though. This Luna is farming at a ridiculous rate right now. He just picked up that Butterfly. He's not that far off of a Satanic.
Yeah, they're locking Forward Gaming out of this part of the map. Like, they have the Shrine in there. But, of course, you just can't go in there, can't Power Rangers your way in. So the only response, really, from Forward Gaming is to just head bottom and start chipping away at this Tier 3. This is the only way to draw them back. Forces out, and they're going to use the offensive clip, actually. I guess defensive and offensive at the same time, really.
Yeah.
It's keeping that wave going bottom.
It's just a darn good glyph there, Trent.
The value. I tell you, all right, Sumail will head back.
Yep, we have to clear this
they,
up.
They timed this Aegis.
On the other side, though, MSS jumps in. He's got no support inbound. He's going to be all alone. BKB does get used by Arteezy, but MSS goes down immediately. Now back on the other side. They are going to find S4 indeed. They'll go 1 for 1, and the Tier 3 does go down. Sumail can't clear out the roster wards fast enough.
Okay.
But Arteezy gets the Tier 2 mid, so not a bad trade for EG, but got to give the edge to forward.
Yeah, 100%. That was quite the play. So they find S4 and they decide they're not going to use the Haunt even though MSS runs in. It's like if MSS gets a 3-man stomp, maybe we can start TPing, use the Haunt and everything. But it's not perfect. He forces out a kind of bad BKB from Arteezy. He has to play it very defensively. And then they say, all right, you know what? We're just going to secure a Tier 3 and we're going to kill S4. Sorry, dude. Support for core. We're calling that a good trade at the end of the day.
Now more rotations. EG still in this very aggressive posture. They've got great vision on the plateau. They can see all these movements. And SVG, well, he's going to get rid of it.
How about Rezo? Speaking of plateaus here, he's down in the valley.
Well, they see him, and this time Haunt not going to save you. No enemies to jump to as they're all in hot pursuit. Bug's going to give them the vision they need to try to chase him down over the trees. Rezo's still very tanky, though. He's got the Heart of Tarrasque up to 3,600 HP on this Spectre. Not an easy target to bring down.
Everyone has rotated down here. We got ourselves 10 heroes. Least played part of the map. Radiant scan, seeing maybe if there's going to be a Weaver scouting forward, a smoke perhaps. And at the same time, all they can think is, that Roche may respawn in another minute and 20. You saw the encircling from Rezo, and there's the smoke. Who is going to be the forward hero here?
Just out of vision of that ward on the high ground, the plateau that we were just talking about.
But the courier comes right back through that ward, so they're going to know.
Okay. They should be suspicious at the very least, though EG will rotate through and head to the other side of the map. And baiting with Arteezy here.
This is the next level play for sure. It's like if someone TPs to this shrine to try and farm, we'll get them.
The ward on the high ground gets pinged out. They've got the sentries down. And vision will be reclaimed. They did not... oh, they put a new observer up. Okay, so more vision for EG in this area. They've also got a fresh ward kind of in the lane here, covering all their bases.
Yeah, he planned that while he was smoked too, so that one might go undetected, even though this one, of course, is much more obvious there. But the line is drawn bottom once more. I mean, they have Snakes and a Pugna. Very dangerous here. Pugna's going to have to wall himself over there if he wants to help out, but I'm sure SVG will be enough to threaten something here.
Well, they find a catch in the mid lane. It's going to be on the Luna, the high prize target, and they'll bring him down.
There's no buyback there either.
Fly also going to be caught by Resolution.
Oh,
the Haunt reality.
He's caught too.
Oh no, EG, the BKB from Sumail. He's able to blink back in time, but can they still bring him down? He's on the run. Ice Wall used. MSS, he gets pushed back and disarmed. Meatball flies.
Oh, but
SVG looking for some shackles, but he can't get it. Bottom barracks stay standing. Melee took about half damage.
Looks like SVG must have dropped the snakes there.
Still great stuff for forward.
Yeah, pickoff just happened too fast for Arteezy to react. Now another 30 seconds. Rezo confidently taking the high ground here. And what are the answers? You don't have a BKB on your Invoker. You don't really want to commit to too much.
Look at these siege creeps along, trying to push back Rezo. He's just going to focus down these barracks. Loses some mana, but not too upset about it.
I mean, a Nether Ward, combination of the Pugna, the Nether Blast. This one's just
now,
theirs.
Double Radiant siege creeps coming in, and they're going to add some extra damage. This is going to be a lane of barracks in favor of forward. The 5-0-8 Spectre continuing to dominate.
They did such a great job of positioning on that high ground and dominating that whole area. They were shutting that out from forward and saying, we're going to own this, and we're going to therefore help control the Roche pit for ourselves when this comes back. It could be a while. It could be a very short time. It ends up being a relatively long spawn, about a minute 40.
Oh,
but now
Stampede.
another one.
They jump in onto S4. MSS with the initiation. SVG with the follow-up. The Hex, the Laguna. It's a dead axe.
The chain stun, it just keeps happening, just like it did for Arteezy. 100-0, no chance to react.
Fortunately for Forward, a minute and a half until Roche respawns would have been a big opportunity for them to grab an Aegis and Cheese of their own.
I'd like to see them take this moment, though, where they're not ready to fight and maybe start thinking about the Shrine. EGR smoked up here, though, at least on fly.
Still a scary time. This Luna, if you can control her like that, she doesn't seem so strong, but remember, he's got a BKB with an 8-second charge and a full Satanic, neither of which were used in that last gank.
Dagon here for Universe, stacked up another one to level 2. And now it's their turn to hold the high ground around the Roche pit. Control where EG can go. And much like last time, Arteezy trying to bait something out here. Of course, I'm assuming they were hoping for an Aghanim save in the last time. Didn't quite go that well. See if Crit's a bit more fortunate on that one. He's looking for that Blink Dagger we've seen be so common on these support weavers.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
EG all grouped up here, no smoke on either support. Just playing very much together right now as Forward basically doing the same thing. Realizing how precious this timing is around Roche. One pickoff will lead to a pretty significant advantage. 15 seconds till he's up, and both teams know it.
Oh, yeah, Rezo needs to be very cautious, though. He's the one who can play alone, sure. The rest have to group up. He's got the haunt. But he cannot be picked off by himself. And okay, so now a bit of a risky play. Oh, they're going to get the Roche. It spawns the second they walk into the pit. Yes, their tier 3's taking damage. There's a couple of catapults there, but the rest of Forward Gaming have gone back to their base, and they're going to be too far away for this one.
They just kill it so fast, though. It feels risky, but they just dropped Roche in sub 10 seconds. Another Aegis Cheese for Arteezy. Great composure from EG. Is it going to be enough, though? Smoke rotation now from Forward on the way. They want to try to punish this. Ward on the high ground. In range of this sentry.
This is no Aether, no Blink Shaman, not exactly the best hero to be at front. At least if not, if you want an ace, it's a good catch. So,
EG going to be able to dodge the gank. They're just going to head back up to their own high ground.
So it cost them like 2/3 the life, a little bit more on their tier 3 tower. But of course, with the soft chipping of Universe on this Pugna, just slow sieging it over and over, it's pretty hard to stop a tier 3 from going down anyway. It's going to be well worth it for an Aegis and a Cheese. They just have to find that big fight. And as we're being blessed there from Scrift, you can see the Aghanim Scepter picked up as well for our Luna and what that's doing. Putting up to a mad amount of damage with the additional damage from his in.
The Lena.
Oh, what did I say?
You said Luna.
Oh,
and I
that
was
would
like,
be
get
a lot
out
of
of here,
fun.
dude.
That
Get
would
out
be
of here.
great.
There's absolutely no
I
way.
mean, who puts two heroes that are one letter off, first off? But anyway, I digress. It goes up to about 1050 with the bonus damage here.
Yeah. BKB Slicer.
And Dota Plus here, giving the nod over to Forward Gaming. Taking it from 18 minutes.
You know, we all know how much Dota Plus likes Spectre, so let's not get too excited.
Yeah, we also know how often Dota Plus is kind of right, so maybe it's okay to love Spectre.
Funny how machine learning works like that. The Hurricane Pike now picked up for Luna, so Arteezy getting a little more mobility for himself with Scotty queued up to finish off that last slot. BKB also up on S4. That is the 10-second charge as the Butterfly secured on resolution.
That's no buyback, though. I mean, that's a little dangerous against Luna and Volker draft, who is Aegis and Cheese, to have no buyback.
Yeah. Especially
he does
with
have like
Spectre.
4k HP, though, so kind of helps.
Still, I mean, we've seen moments where, you know, Spectres hold that haunt, die, buy back, haunt again. I mean, that can be a game-ending play in the right context. There's certainly a degree of risk. Also closing in on that level 25 talent for resolution. Highest level in the game by 2.
Yeah, just once again, Spectre, right? Being able to play by yourself.
Yeah.
The entire game, never having to split HP with any lurking heroes. Speaking of lurking, it's S4 way in the back line, kind of cutting off the side of Forward from reacting to the rest of Dire. And
EG running low on structural resources. The Serpent Wards come down. They'll finish off another Tier 3 tower. They're kind of at a range of the barracks
they
here,
got
so
the
not
tier
a
2
big
bottom,
threat.
but EG maybe not sure what to do. They're kind of looking around the shrine, hoping to catch someone reacting to them. They're not going to end up going to push the tier 3.
Forward playing this so well right now with their aggressive movements, just not giving EG the
They
openings.
have a smoke on Fly, too. They might think about cutting them off here.
EG need to make some sort of a play if they want to regain this. It feels like Forward is going to be able to keep doing this chip away at their base, and eventually Megas will come out. They've got a lineup that can hold, but mid lane, S4, he's going to get jumped on. BKB not used in time. They've got the burst, and it's a dead axe without buyback.
Yeah, looking a little lost here from EG. They just can't find a play there. They're hoping someone's going to be coming back, maybe to deal with bot. They're going to run or something, but now Crit's starting to scout them out here. Doesn't look like there's a gem available.
Definitely hesitating, though, cautious to get caught out there. No tier 3s remain for EG. They're going to grab Crit, force staff back, but
three-man
MSS
stomp.
is there. Another huge stomp connects on Arteezy and Fly. The BKB Satanic are used. Luna trying to turn things around, but EG have already lost a lot. Resolution deep in the base, taking pretty heavy damage here. He gets disarmed, but able to Spectral Dagger back to the low ground.
He still had no buyback at the moment there, too.
A little risky. Still an Aegis on the Luna, but no BKB. EG do hold on, but it's costly.
Yeah, that was Aegis and Cheese you're fighting into while there's also no Spirit Vessel on your team, too, so...
Here it is, Trent. It's queued up. The Rapier for Arteezy on the Luna. EG feeling the pressure, knowing they need to do something wild to regain the footing here and have a chance in this game. They're going to go all in on that big item. He still needs a little bit of farm to go. Probably going to pick it up after the Aegis.
S4 looking to clean up his game here, looking for that one big call. 3-8-0. Can he finally get a big one on the board here? They run into each other.
Instead, he gets hexed. MSS again with a good stomp. Now the wards come down. Arteezy in the back line trying to do some damage. S4 able to live thanks to the time lapse. BKBs get used, but Arteezy taking huge damage from the War ultimate. That's the Aegis, only for SVG. Now a taunt onto the Spectre. The
another
Tombstone
stomp.
comes down.
MSS.
MSS playing out of his mind right now. Finds 2 without buyback. It's basically just Arteezy and Sumail. BKB's on, but they do not have the damage. EG need to get the hell out of here, or Forward are going to clean this up. Trying to pursue MSS again, but this time he'll get pushed back, and Arteezy brings him down, compliments to the Hurricane Pike.
Oh, that tip is 100% deserved. MSS barely any vision there as he's about to hop in, and Arteezy somehow manages to grab him at the last moment with that push. Fantastic maneuver there, and you gotta love the respect from MSS instantly.
Incredible performance on this Centaur so far.
He's definitely been the highlight of this one for me, I have to say.
Just making these team fights feel impossible for EG.
And we get to watch it again here. So S4, like, they're just kind of bumping each other, and as I said, S4 instantly hexed up too, but that time-lapse save was there in time to help things out. But, well, back in our main game, we got ourselves a hunt. They're on to Crit.
Crit's
He's
gonna
dead.
go down, and now Luna in a lot of trouble. 10 seconds on the BKB, has a Satanic, makes it down to the low ground, but disarmed.
She's got buyback.
Life drain, that'll secure a double. Arteezy and Crit in the grave. Resolution with the aggressive tip. 30 seconds on Rost Awards, so they won't be able to just cripple these barracks straight away, but Arteezy might be forced into a buyback here. Crit will not have it. 75 seconds on the sideline for this Weaver. Buyback is on cooldown. Whip also available, and there it is as S4 jumps in. He will grab Lina, but gets hexed straight away. The Cataclysm doesn't connect on much. BKBs get popped. Arteezy's back in the fray. They need to get something out of this. Resolution just feels too damn tanky as he's in the front lines. S4 able to survive just barely. But Sumail not going to be so lucky. He buys back now. Barracks still standing, but SVG, he's got the Serpents, and they're going to do the work for him. Melee Barracks will go down. Forward, staying on the low ground, not taking any undue risk. Half the Barracks now down for EG.
Starting to see a pretty common theme with a lot of the best heroes. Oh, we finally get ourselves another replay here. Well, we had one replay into another replay, and there you go. That time-lapse save that was there, nearly giving another life to Arteezy, but still going to be enough. Yep. Skirt will end up falling, but...
you know, even if Arteezy wants this Rapier, now very far away after that buyback, is absolutely forced into it, but still has a whole Sacred Relic to farm where the big damage comes out, as Scotty is now going to be the 6th slot for the Spectre. Also queuing up the Abyssal Blade to replace those boots. Rezo's going full raid boss, baby.
Yeah, just so much HP and survivability. You can find that up for Butterfly too, but
You think the
I don't know.
Rapier is enough? If he's
Hey,
able to
it's-
pick it up.
There's no other option, honestly. I think Rapier is completely fine. I don't think it's enough, but it's an opportunity, right? It just
Right.
relies on S4. He has to find a call. It's been a very hard game. There's no doubt about it. It's been a lot of great vision from Forward, making his life difficult. Doesn't have a Shadow Blade, so
They've
that's
played around the axe so well between MSS and SVG.
and like the spread too. You saw what always looks like it's gonna be a good call, and it's only one hero. Like they're all just outside the radius, but Rezo, he's scouting.
Uh-oh, he's going to walk him to the high ground. S4 was ready and waiting this time, but Rezo's just not taking any damage. This Spectre is so beefy. Forward will be forced back, but EG not able to find a kill. Now Hex onto Sumail. There's the haunt. BKBs get popped. They're trying to bring him down, but they've already lost S4 and Fly, only in exchange for SVG. Crit now in the back line will get brought down. And MSS
Arteezy.
winning this battle against Arteezy. All 4 down for EG. No buybacks. It is only Sumail as the GG is called. We're going to a game 3. Similar score to game 1, except this time it's Forward that take it 33-13.
Excellent play here from Forward Gaming. They just they started fighting their way. That game, I don't know. Okay, I've seen a common trend here in terms of the best heroes at the tournament, and that is heroes that can take any small advantage and just like dominate the whole map off of that. You know, see this Terrorblade, right? Just like every single meta, you're able to go push, take some towers. Pugna, a hero that kind of fell off a bit. I feel like he wasn't even banned that much as things started going right from the tournament. Like right before this, he's first phase banned, first phase pick, but now he's kind of in and out. He can just push down these towers. Game 1, it worked for EG. Game 2, now of course it works for Forward Gaming. And the Shadow Shaman. I mean,
Dude,
Forward Gaming, they found something with this hero.
they really did. Rezo also going 11-0 and 14 on the Spectre, just
That was pretty good.
illustrating how little pressure was put
I'm-
on him throughout that game.
I would say that I am charmed by the Snake.
Okay.
I think they've done it for me with the Shaman.
All right, it was good stuff. Let's send it back to our panel to hear their thoughts about that game too.
Charmed by the Snake. Never thought I heard Trent say that one. Looks like we kind of put a jinx there on EG. It was Forward Gaming that pulled out the victory. It was a pretty solid one as well. We kind of thought, you know, EG, they might be able to pull it back. They got an Aegis, they had a shot, but in reality, Forward never really gave them anything to work with, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know. When you look at drafts, you kind of have a vision of how the game's going to play out. And I feel like in Dota, there's just rules sometimes. And one of the rules is that Spectre should not be #1 net worth at 10 minutes into the game. 15
Unless
minutes
you
into the
want to
game.
win with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, she can still usually win if she's not #1 net worth. I think the big mistake in my mind, and I talked to Bulba about it in the viewing room, was Core Axe and support Weaver. Spectre's considered a traditional counter to Core Axe just because of the counter initiation potential. You also have the Pugna. And I thought, in my mind, like Weaver would have applied a ton of pressure, and they spent the entire time cutting the wave and messing with SVG. And Rezo literally got every creep, bottom lane. And I just feel like Spectre's entire weakness was not shown in that game. And Forward punished him for it.
It's Rezo in his element. He gets to just free farm the early game, then have a big mid to late game. And he goes 11-0-14, but he is not the MVP of this game. We have MSS making the most insane center
Absolutely.
stuns
for
all game
sure.
long. The Shaman pick worked out. I mean, Rezo had this game pretty easy when he doesn't get contested.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right. Like, because if you put this Weaver as a core, you can chase him around the whole game, right? Like, they can't really kill this Weaver with their heroes. I guess Rasta can. But for me, I think even if you put the Axis core, like, you should be able to put more pressure than they did.
I don't think
But-
you just blatantly cut creeps. Like in the last series, we saw Axe against Necro, where it's like you don't
Yeah.
want to lane against Necro as Axe, but like
Yeah.
why don't you want to lane against a Spectre as Axe? I don't think you have to do all this
No, but I
cheeky
think
stuff.
yeah, I think you cut creep, but like you should have timings where you can diver. And I don't know, like what I didn't see the first minute, but like you go for the first wave with Axe versus a lane like that. Like you don't skip right away. Like you're supposed to skip together. I don't think they did it right at all. So for me, there's no way a Rasta Spectre can stand up to Weaver. Like whoever's playing what,
Yeah, Luna's
There's no
level
way.
7 and Spectre's level 10. Like that's
Yeah.
just not
There's
how
n-
Dota's supposed to look.
there's no way that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah.
But that's all in the laning stage. Is there not a way for them to come back after that, or is the battle already fought? Spectre gets ahead like that, and it's over.
Still looked like close to 50-50 game. I mean, Dota Plus actually had it, EG favored it like 15-20 minutes in, despite the Spectre being #1 on net worth. So
I think Ford made some sick plays. I think SVG had like that sentry mid where he camped the Weaver because Lena kept getting gone on. Like they were picking on the Lena mid, and instead Lena's like #2 net worth 15 minutes into the game, which I think that's like really important that Yoar was able to recover. Ford did a lot of things right this game, honestly. I just think I think like you said, they could have done things right to come back in the game on EG, but I think like putting yourself in that situation just makes the game way harder than it should be.
I mean, EG managed to secure like the first 2 Roches. The big thing for me is that first BKB timing on Luna when they took the 5 mid is that they didn't get a good initiation.
Yeah.
Like that Shaman was showing visible. They didn't want to go on the Shaman.
Yeah.
In the end, Spectre haunts, give vision, Centaur 4-man stun. That was the fight. EG, they smoked. They were the ones who were taking the taking the initiative.
That's
and
their timing.
yeah, that was their strong timing. There's no answer to this BKB Luna, and Forward crush a team fight, and that the game I think changes right there.
No, it seems in this series like this Centaur should be getting banned out now. Like it's a first pick for both teams, and on it, like he did so much this game. It's the same with like the Luna is strong, sure, but like she pops her BKB, then you pop Centaur ulti, and then you run away. And like what do you have? Like the Axe is already dead because like he's useless in this game.
Yeah.
So the fights were just very hard for them. It was hard to do something because like it was a last pick Invoker, right? And honestly, if you look at it, it's not a very good Invoker game. Like it's not very fun to play against Pugna. Like you can do it, but it's not that fun. And I think Spectre is like really good against Invoker.
And Spectre 11-0 and 14 there at the end for Rezo.
If you give a good player free farm,
Easy game. We're just cruising through.
yeah, he's more than happy with that one. I'm sure he's not used to it this patch.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's nice for a change. It does tie the series 1-1. Forward looking a lot better. Do they look as good as what we were expecting at the start of the tournament? Because we have been talking about how they've underperformed a little bit coming into this.
They looked really good there. I mean, they were a team that got top 8 at TI. They took VP to 3 close games here. This looks like how they played against VP. They're just a really strong, solid team.
Yep. No, I agree. And like their heroes are finally kind of working out together. Like they had some special heroes, right? Like they have this Dazzle, and especially the Shadow Shaman, like which no one else really picks. And if they can keep using that, it's good.
Yeah, give me MSS that flashy hero, man. I'm ready to. I mean, those are insane Centaur stomps, and he's kind of the backbone, I think, of this team. Like if he has a good game, I feel like they win.
All right. We're going to find out if he will have a good game for game number 3 because that is coming your way after the break.